Martin is here. Hello, Martin. Nice to see you. Draculum, Amy D, Amy D, Amy D, Dandelion Gum, uh, 2017 Leopard Tank. Okay. Hello. Did you know that plants use decomposing matter to grow? Interesting. Axel is here. I miss Chip and VC, but I'm happy he's doing so much street outreach. Hey, Jennifer Rooney. Hello, everyone. Hello, Linda. Hello, Martin again. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week for me. But that's okay. It's gonna be. I'm leaving for Romania tomorrow, and I'll be back Saturday evening. I have somebody staying at my house meanwhile, which is kind of cool. So it's a little bit of a chaotic, but that's okay. It's okay. Hey, that vegan teacher, nice to see you here. Christopher Sabionsky says, good morning, nonviolent people. Love it. It's only Tuesday, says Linda. Yeah, Linda, it's only Tuesday, but it's a heck of a Tuesday. Tuesday. You want to try it?
You speak Spanish?
English.
Can I?
You can wave if you want, but
Hello, I'm Mexican.
nice. Cheers.
Have you Instagram?
I'm on YouTube. It's hey, vegan postmortem. It's this one.
Okay.
That chip guy. You can take the card. Cheers. Hey, Virtue Postmortem. Sorry, I always forget that you changed your name. Virtue Postmortem. VPM. It's easier. Tap the heart button, says Miss Katie. Thank you, Miss Katie. Damn it, something bit me as I was coming here. Bloody mosquitoes love me. Hey, you want to try a social experiment?
Sure.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What's your name?
Katie.
Katie, I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
From Canada. So Katie, I generally ask people some questions, get them to think a little bit. I'm an animal rights activist, and I
Okay.
fight for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yes.
Do you think they deserve the right to not be treated like objects?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to ask you two more questions, and it's generally that people flip over these
Okay.
after this two questions. Do you think that animal agriculture treats animals like objects?
I think it depends which kind of agriculture.
Do you think farming animals isn't treating them like objects regardless of how well you treat them?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Let me put it this way. Do you think in farming they care about their individuality at all, or do they only care about their body and what their body can give?
I think you're probably right on the second one. Yeah.
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 Is that not a form of objectification?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, do you think that animal agriculture objectifies animals?
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you buy animal products?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Food, clothing, all this kind of stuff. Do you think you could live without buying these products? Like you could be healthy and thriving?
I think probably. Yeah. Or at least minimizing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But minimizing. Okay. So let's. So you said you could live without it, right? Okay. Do you think that then, if you choose to buy an animal product, you are paying for animals to be objectified, which goes against your values?
I think it's an oversimplification though, because a lot of people don't have the resources or both like time or financially or what have you, or even dietary. Some people need those products in order to live.
Yeah.
So it's hard to simplify it that by doing something you are agreeing with something. I think it's if it was readily available for everyone to sustainably go vegan, it'd be great. But I don't think that's a realistic opportunity for a lot of people.
I love to talk about everyone, but everybody's situation is different.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can agree with you that I cannot speak on behalf of everyone, but I can speak to you.
Yeah.
Do you think that if I provide you with resources, is there any reason why going forward you would choose to pay for animals to be objectified?
Only reason I can think of is that I did go vegan for a little while in my life, and dietary wise, like I had a lot of issues. So personally, that's my. But yeah, I think like for sure minimizing or at least researching more of like where you're getting things from is probably a good step forward that I need to be reminded of.
Throw a hypothetical out there. Let's imagine that I'm not married, but let's imagine that my wife cooks for me always, right? And just the way I am, I only see that only women can cook, and then I say I'll become a feminist and realize that men can also cook and whatever, right? Then I realize that I don't know how to cook very well, so I come back to it. So my wife cooks for me yet again. Do you think, while I was a feminist, do you think feminism is a diet? Because during that time, my wife did not cook for me, but I cooked for myself.
I think that's not quite what I'm saying. In that example, you're saying that the reason initially the wife would cook is because you view that as a feminine act that men shouldn't do.
Yeah.
When you go and learn, whether or not you take away from this experience, oh, I'm going to cook or not, you have gone through the act of learning why you originally thought that assumption.
Yeah.
And what it is about that assumption that you now disagree with. And I think in that example, for instance, if you do go back and you are married in this situation and your wife is like, hey honey, you're a terrible cook, please stop cooking for me.
No, but if I make my wife cook because I believe that that's what she's good for because she's a woman.
Well, then you didn't actually investigate those issues with feminism.
Okay, so then I wasn't really a feminist, correct?
No, if you didn't change or investigate or talk about how you view those ideals, I believe you didn't sincerely actually grapple with those ideas of patriotism. Yeah.
I appreciate that. So the reason why I pose this hypothetical is because veganism in the same way veganism is to animals what feminism is to women. It's about respecting their rights, right? So when you said you were vegan for a while, do you think you did the same thing where you grappled with the idea of objectifying animals, of using them for food or stuff like that, which we don't need? Or do you think you just adopted a plant-based diet, which, as far as I understood, you didn't make it work well?
I think probably when I did it, I could have done more grappling with it, but I also think they're very different issues, and the fact that
I mean, there's different victims, obviously, there are different issues.
Yeah, and the idea that feminism is talking about sentient creatures who are more than 50% of the global population, and I think there
Does the number matter? Because if the number matter, then we kill 80 billion land animals and trillions of individuals, sea creatures.
And
so then I would say
agree.
It's more important if you take it by the numbers. But I don't think numbers matter, if you ask me.
Okay, but I still think that asking everybody to and labeling the idea of eating animals as a whole as objectifying animals, I think is a false argument, because historically throughout our time as all people, and we have eaten animals, we are omnivores.
How does that negate the objectification of it? We could have objectified animals for centuries also, right?
Yeah.
The fact that we've been doing it for a century does not negate whether we objectify them or not.
I think what I'm saying though is that in cultures and in a lot of people, parts of people's diet, while have evolved, we've evolved to eat meat. And if we're talking about that aspect of it,
biologically.
Yes.
But biologically, we can also thrive on a plant-based diet, as we have shown studies. So whether we evolved one way or another shouldn't really matter, right? It's not like if we say that we bring it back to feminism and we say we as a society evolved where women would stay with the kids and men would go hunt. You could say we evolved that way, therefore women should stay with the kids and men should hunt. That would be a wrong thing to draw a conclusion
But also
from, right?
that is from one particular culture.
Yeah.
Whereas you see globally, there are many cultures where that wasn't happening. So it's not actually an evolutionary trait. It's not part of our biology. It is something that we inherited socially. And I agree that there is a large aspect of eating meat that is social. But I think the comparison there is treating somebody else who, if we're looking at animals and saying animals deserve rights, very true. They deserve to be treated fairly. But as well as that, there is, say for example, animal living in the wilds, they are still at the risk of being hunted, being eaten. That is,
sure,
I think, part of the natural cycle. And what we're talking about when you're comparing with feminism is taking an issue where, well, people like to think that it's historically women were treated this way, and so now we're moving against, but it was a social construct.
It's the same with animals.
I
bring
don't
them
agree.
we bring them into existence to use them and exploit and kill them. Just because we can digest their flesh, just in other words, because we can do it. We can thrive on a plant-based diet. Leonardo da Vinci always adopted a plant-based diet. He lived hundreds of years ago. If he could do it, why can't we who live right now today, where we have an abundance of other options?
And I agree, and I think for a lot of people that would be a really awesome option, but I know, like, personally and other people in the world, that won't be an option. And
Sure.
so I think it's important to understand that just because somebody is saying that
But
they
as I've said from the beginning, I'm sorry for interrupting you there, but as I've said from the beginning, we can speak about other people, but everybody's situation is different, and I can attest to their situation when I meet them. I've met,
Yeah.
met people from countries
Well,
in Africa, but
I'm
like,
saying that my situation is have gone on. I've been vegan and actually
you were plant-based, right?
I was plant-based, and I think I had some milk products actually.
Oh, so you were not even plant-based.
Sorry, I will not say I was not plant-based.
Yeah.
I was plant-based and then some milk products, but it did not work as like a health reason for me. So if you're talking one-on-one to me, that is why I cannot do it.
Is there a possibility that you probably didn't do it correctly, or you didn't eat enough calories, or maybe you didn't eat all the macro and micronutrients that your body requires?
Possibly, but it's again, talking from a personal perspective, it is difficult enough for me to like manage eating 3 meals a day. So going in and doing so much research and so much work around.
I can give you resources for that. You don't have to
I'm
do any
okay,
research.
though.
You're okay. So
Yeah.
so wait, because I provide you with I want to provide you with resources that would help you adopt a plant-based diet, that would help you no longer oppress innocent animals. And what you're saying right now is, I'm okay. I'm not really interested in that, right?
If you want to say it that way, yeah.
Well, it's not that I want to say it that way. What else does I'm okay mean when I say I can provide you resources so that you no longer have to oppress animals?
I think farming isn't oppressing animals. I think sustainable.
If we farm
well-researched
humans, would
farming-
it be oppressive?
Yes, because humans are sentient creatures.
So are animals. Animals are sentient creatures. We have the Declaration of Sentience. All the animals that we farm are sentient, yes. They have a subjective experience of the world. They have emotions. They're sentient. Do you think they're not sentient?
I think humans with, I think comparing cannibalism to eating farm animals, I think is a little bit of a stretch, in my opinion.
Well,
And
to
I'm
you,
not-
to you from your side, but from the perspective of the victim, why does it matter, right? From perspective of the victim, they're getting killed for an optional product. From the perspective of the victim, they only feel the repercussions of the oppression. The fact that you bring them to life, to use them and kill them. To you, maybe it seems like there's gradients of it. There's shades of gray, or even throw in colors in all this expression as you want. But to the victim, it's pretty black and white. You are treating them unjustly. You are not treating them as the individuals that they are, but as what their body gives to you. Would it be okay if somebody did that to you?
I think I have to step away now because I'm late for something, but I appreciate what you're doing, and
Let me give you a card either way. I don't think you should be part of this. I'm just saying, like, I don't think this is something you want to continue being part of. If you scan this QR code, the minion or the most important speech appear on top. Can you just promise me you'll watch one of these two
Sure,
videos?
deal.
Just to see what you participate in, because you might not be okay with.
Okay.
And then you have a thing there called Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day, and help you adopt a plant-based diet for free. And
Okay.
within your budget, within your area, okay? Come on, let's be compassionate towards animals.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all it is. It's about the animals, okay?
all right. Cheers. Have a good day.
You too. Ugh. I did not like her. Hey,
You're still working?
yeah, you want to try it? You want to try it?
4 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. Let's do it in 4
Yeah,
minutes.
man.
Are you
Hello.
okay being live on my YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's fine. Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Aean. Aean.
Ayman. I'm
Yeah.
Chip.
Nice to meet you.
Ayman, I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals.
Yeah.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yeah.
Do you think they deserve the right to not be treated like an object?
Yeah.
Do you think animal agriculture treats animals like objects?
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any way of farming an animal that isn't objectifying them?
I'm not that knowledgeable enough about this to give my opinion, to be
Let me
honest.
put it this way. Do you
Yeah.
think when you farm an animal, you care about the individual that the animal is, or do you care about their body only?
If you keep keeping it as a pet and not with the intention
But farming
to eat it.
is not a pet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So no, it's an instrumental intention. Like you take care of it so that you eat it.
Yeah, so you only care about their body, not who they are as individuals,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah.
Do you think that you can care about animals? Sorry, do you think maybe even that? Can you care about animals, or can you say animals should not be objectified while at the same time paying for them to be objectified?
Yeah, that might sound hypocrite. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
true, yeah.
Do you think you can live without objectifying animals?
No.
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 So if I want to show you evidence, I don't have any evidence on me, but if I tell you that there is evidence out there that we can thrive on a plant-based diet when it comes to food,
Yeah.
I'm assuming you don't think we need to wear leather, or we
Yeah.
can obviously buy
Yeah, yeah.
synthetic leather or any type of other
True.
products,
I
right?
agree with that. Yes.
So I'm assuming your issue is with food only.
Yeah. I like meat. This is the problem.
You like meat, but do you think that what you like means more than what these animals go through, the being brought to life only to be killed at a fraction of their lifespan?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Because I think that death is inevitable to all creatures.
This isn't death, this is murder.
Yeah, but like
Would it be okay if we did it to a human being?
probably not.
Yeah, but do you think that that human being values their life just as much as that animal values their own life?
Yeah, it's this is how it is for now. Like humans' lives matter more than animals' life. Like this is
To
not.
us.
Yes, to us, of
But
course.
to
Like,
each individual animal, their life matters equally to as my life matters to me as your life matters to you.
yeah.
Shouldn't we rather care about that rather than the value we put on them?
But the thing is, humans fear death because we know that we're gonna die. But animals don't know that they're gonna die.
Well, a lot of these animals actually do know they're gonna die. We forget that these animals are kept in slaughterhouses. When they get there, they smell the blood. I mean, cows have giant noses. Of course, they're gonna smell the blood. Pigs are very intelligent. They already, most of the times, they know what's happening to them. And even if they don't know, like let's imagine that we put it in
Just
a human
one second. Let me
context.
see the time because my shift is in
Yeah.
1 minute. Yeah, tell me.
So if the humans,
Yeah.
if a human would not know whether I'm killing them or not, would it be fair for me to kill them?
It will alleviate the suffering of
It
killing.
would, but would it be fair? Shoot them from the behind. They never see you.
Yeah. I don't think it's fair, but at the same time, I don't think I'm in a position to know what is fair and what is not.
Well, you
because
know
I'm not an animal. This is the thing.
No, but you can judge what is fair and what is not, because you can put yourself in the position of the victim. If somebody's breeding you, if somebody who brought you to life,
Yeah.
he says that your purpose is to be killed for my food, and you say, but I don't want to die, because obviously no animal wants to die, but you know,
Yeah. Okay.
you
Like.
will- the other person can always eat something else, but you choose. You see what I mean?
Yes, it's an unfortunate truth. It's an unfortunate truth, and the way how like things work.
But do you think
And-
you're responsible for it?
Yes, I am.
You
yes,
are.
I am responsible for it. I wouldn't say I'm proud of it,
Yeah.
nor do I really feel guilty, to be honest. Like,
That's okay. That's okay. But like, I feel like, how about I do this because you have to go and I want to
Yeah, yeah,
respect your
yeah.
time. So I'll give you a card. There's
Yeah.
2 videos here on top: Dominion and the most important speech ever.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you promise me you'll watch one of these 2 if you?
I
scan
will
this
give it
QR
a shot.
code?
Yeah.
I appreciate
for sure,
you.
man.
Okay, let's
Thank
just
you.
at least know what you're paying for, because you might not be okay with it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Have a good one. I want to respect people's time, you know. Legality and morality are not the same thing. They are not. Do we have people in the chat who are saying it is? What do you feel that one type of bio is okay but another type isn't? What do you feel that? I don't know how to answer this question. What do you feel, or why do I feel? I don't think farming anybody is okay. If anybody believes farming humans is okay, then you're probably being disingenuous. And if farming humans is not okay, why would farming animals be okay? It's pretty simple. Cloud Stripe says, Chip, you are my hero. Thank you, Cloud Stripe. Just an average person. Just a regular, everyday, normal MF. Plants are bio. They are alive. Plants are alive. Yes, plants are not sentient, though. And if you care about plants, you should still adopt a plant-based diet, because you kill less plants in the process. It can sound counterintuitive, but the animals that we farm are fed considerably more plants than we would otherwise eat ourselves. Because humans are made in the image of God, animals aren't. As I've said countless times, my God is in the image of a chicken. Therefore, it would be okay for me to slaughter humans, right? Oh shit, let me put the cap on for you, everybody. It's sunny. Forgot. Sunny, gotta put the cap on. Can't let you guys get some heat stroke or something. You guys wanna try the social experiment?
Maybe.
Are you okay being live from my YouTube channel? You wanna come here so that you're in view? What's your name?
Lineia.
Lineia?
Lineia.
Lineia. I'm
Yeah.
Chip. How old are you, by the way?
18.
18. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because if you're under 18, I don't think you can
Yeah.
consent to be on my
Yeah.
YouTube channel. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals.
Yeah.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think animals deserve the right to not be objectified by us?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? Do you think that animals are objectified in animal agriculture?
I don't know in agriculture, but like zoos and things like that.
Zoos, they're objectified. Do you think they're objectified when we test products on them?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that when we bring them to life to use them and kill them when we can no longer use them, is that a form of objectifying them?
I don't know, because as long as they have a good life, I feel like it's more important to give them like the right to have a good life and not be in really like small spaces and stuff.
Have you
like
had
that.
a good life so far?
Yeah.
Would it be fair for me to take your life right now? To use you for your body? Because
Yeah.
do we care about the individuals that these animals are, or do we
Yeah.
only care what their body is?
I feel like it's a little bit different though, because even if I see like animals as really important and they deserve to have a very good life and all of that, I also think there's a difference between humans and other animals.
Does this difference justify needless violence towards animals?
Not necessarily, but also we do eat them, and
Do we have to?
I guess not, but also.
So we choose to eat them.
Yeah, but through history we have always eaten animals, and I think it's more important to make it a way that it's painless and the animals have.
Does it make it
more-
right that we've been doing it for histories, for centuries?
I guess not.
No. So then it doesn't really matter that we've been doing it for centuries. So then
Yeah.
I ask you again, we bring to life these animals, we use
Yeah.
them and we kill them for something we don't actually need, we just want. Is
Yeah.
that fair?
But what would you what would your like proposal be to do with all these animals that we have?
Well, adopt a plant-based diet and
Yeah.
no longer bring animals into existence for this purpose.
Okay, so and all the farms and everything with all the animals, what's gonna
They
gonna
can
be
farm
of them?
plants.
Okay, and all the animals that already exist, should we just let them go, or?
I don't know, but that's not an issue that is worth asking even, because it's not like, is that holding you back from adopting a plant-based diet?
No.
No,
But-
so
but
I can answer
still-
your question
yeah,
if you want that.
Yeah, I
So-
still wonder.
So if there were a situation where everybody on Earth would adopt a plant-based diet, all
Yeah.
people on Earth instantly,
Yeah.
overnight, then
Yeah.
obviously we might have an issue that would need
Yeah.
fixing, right? We would need to take care of these animals.
Yeah.
But I would say we still have enough resources to take care of them, since we have enough resources to bring them into existence, feed them and kill them and distribute their flesh and their body secretions like milk, like eggs,
Yeah.
all of this. Since we have all the resources to do all this, I'm sure we have the resources to
Yeah.
keep them alive.
And what do you think about like eggs and milk and stuff like that?
Let's
That's
talk
not-
about milk for
Yeah?
a second. Why
Yeah.
do you think cows produce milk?
It's for the cows.
Yeah, for their babies,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Do you think they get pregnant when they want, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
In agriculture, they impregnate them.
Yeah, so farmers impregnate them. Do you think that's fair to impregnate an animal so that you can use their blood
It's
body?
the same question as before. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that's not fair. When the baby
Yeah.
is born, we separate the babies. Do you know why they do that?
To get the milk.
To get the milk, because if the baby stay with the mother, they drink the milk.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's also unfair to take the baby away. Like you impregnate them and then you don't even let them enjoy
Yeah.
the baby that they have. You separate
Yeah.
them, right? If the baby is born male, they kill them because they don't produce milk. And if the baby is born female, every year impregnated, like their mother, baby's taken, exploited for their milk repeatedly, and around the age of 6 or 8, depending on the farm, depending on the breed, they kill them too. Cows can live 24 years. Do you know why they kill them at that age?
No.
Because they can no longer get them pregnant.
Okay.
Do you think, is this caring about who they are as individuals?
No, I don't. I don't think it is.
Would it be okay if somebody did that to you?
I would say no.
No. I think so too.
Yeah.
So then do you think that you have some responsibility for some cows that go into this through this process?
Yeah, I guess so. But I still have. I think I have a few different views from you.
Like what?
Because I still think it's okay to eat animals. It's just that you need to choose.
Like dogs and cats, right?
Culturally, I think it's more accept with cows. And,
But you think it's okay to eat cats and dogs also? They are animals after all, right?
I guess you could eat them and by the same standards.
Yeah,
It's just
so you
that-
don't need to do it, but you
No,
can
but-
always go and kill a cat
Yeah,
and eat
but
them.
technically it's less meat as well. So
I would say
yeah.
there's more meat on a dog and a cat than there is on a chicken.
yeah, I guess so. But it's once again cultural. But
So do you think this form of oppression, who we oppress and who we don't, should be dependent on culture?
no. But can I finish my my point is that you can choose what meat you eat. You can choose where you buy it from, and
But can you explain all of this why? Because you say it's okay. You say this incredible violence towards innocent, defenseless creatures, it's okay, but you make no motivation as to why.
because once again you can always if you want to put like animals' lives at the same standard
I
as
never
human
said
life.
that. You should just put them at more than a sandwich worth, right? Their whole
Yeah.
existence versus a sandwich. What do you think?
Yeah. Once again, I think it's okay to eat meat. So
Why?
because that's the way I feel towards it.
So you have no motivation for why. So you
Not
you
really.
think it's okay to support violence towards innocent animals, and you're saying because you think it's okay.
Yeah, I guess that's the explanation I can give you right now.
You think that's okay to live by this type of values where you say it's okay for me to be violent towards somebody because I say so? Don't you think violence requires extraordinary explanation?
Once again, it's in this case, I will say that the animal needs to have not a whole life
Why?
full of pain.
Why? Why does that even matter? After all, you bring them to life, you don't really care who they are or what they want to do, you just care about eating their flesh. So why does it matter if they suffer or not?
Because suffering, I feel like, is worse than death.
Okay,
Personally.
but do you think they don't suffer when they're taken away from their mother so that you can drink their milk?
I think not as much as a whole life in really small spaces and with not enough.
They are put in a small space. They're put in a tiny little thing as a baby.
But once again, that's where choosing where you buy your
All of
meat
them, they
or-
do the same thing. They separate them. Do you think that they separate the babies and sometimes they put all the babies in one place, but that actually has worse health
I
outcomes from
actually
them.
don't really know much about the agriculture in Netherlands, for example, because I'm not from here. I'm a tourist. So
Where are you from?
I'm from Sweden.
It's the same.
Is it?
Yeah, there's no, I would say maybe there is a little bit of a difference in some parts of Asia where they haven't gotten to the modern procedures,
Yeah.
but otherwise Europe, US, UK, Australia,
Yeah.
all exactly the same. In fact, I would bet you could take photos from one farm here, from one farm there, from one farm from other places, and you wouldn't know which is which.
Maybe, I don't know. And I've also where I grew up was really close to a farm, so I also I feel like it's not necessarily a bad life for the animals. So
So being separated from their mothers and being killed is not bad. So that means if I do that to you or to a human being, it's not bad because you think it's not that bad of a life.
I feel like you can't translate it to human life.
What exactly is the difference between them that justifies saying that it's okay to do it to animals but not humans?
That is solely based on the structure we have in our society.
So do you think, oh, so if we had a structure in our society, as we did for a while now, where women wouldn't have rights, then that would make it right that women don't have rights.
No.
So then
but
society doesn't really matter, does it? You see, that's the contradiction.
Yeah.
Because you bring society and you say it's okay to do it because we have the structure in society, but then I would say we had that structure in society for years, had hundreds of years.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really have an answer for you because I still stand by my like.
By your unsubstantiated claim.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I was trying to find a good way to
Can you
say
hold
it.
this for a
but yeah,
second?
sure.
Just want to be clear that
Yeah.
you know what you're paying for. I need the chapters here. Yeah. So this is okay.
Yeah.
This is okay. This is okay simply because we say it's okay. There doesn't have to be a reason on why you inflict violence on animals. As long as we say we want to, it's okay.
Once again, I think the more important part is that they don't suffer that much, like to decrease the suffering as much as possible.
So if I'm violent towards a person, it's okay as long as I inject them with something where they don't feel pain.
Once again, a person is not the same in my values.
What's the difference? And I ask you once again. And we end up in the same circle where you
Yeah.
can't justify
Yeah.
the difference. You can't justify the difference, yet you make this ridiculous claim that it's okay to be violent towards animals. I'm assuming you wouldn't be violent to cats and dogs. You can't even tell the difference between cats and dogs, cows, chickens, and pigs.
Yeah,
That
but
justifies the violence, does it? For you. Would you eat cats and dogs now?
I don't think so. But
There you go.
I've been riding horses and I would eat horses. And I see horses as friends. I have cats.
You see them as friends,
Yeah.
and you eat them.
It's once again,
So
it's an
you
animal.
you kill them, and then you see them.
The thing
But at
is,
least don't see them as friends, because this thing is calling them friends is just something for you to feel better about it. They're your
But-
slaves. You ride them and then you kill them so to eat them. You don't really care what they want.
once again, it's not that simple because at least where I ride horses, it's not like, oh, they have to do this, because certain days they're like, yeah, I don't want to be ridden today, and then it's okay, we take a walk instead where I don't ride it.
But can you for 1 second, and I'm sorry, I don't want to keep you too long,
Yeah.
but can you for 1 second, because I feel like this is where you're getting stuck. Can you
Yeah.
for 1 second just erase what you've been done your whole life, erase what
Yeah.
you've been taught by this society? Because
Yeah.
if you grew up in a society where we thought slavery was okay, and you started justifying slavery because we did it our whole life,
Yeah.
and if we did it in a nice way or whatever, it wouldn't make slavery okay. You
No.
agree with that?
Yeah, I agree
So
with
I'm
that.
just trying to, if you erase all of that, do
Yeah.
you really think it's fair what we do to these animals?
I don't know, like, once again, even if we don't think about,
What if we couldn't eat them? Would it be fair to kill them like this? Let's say
If-
if we
if we-
couldn't eat them, but
if-
would it be fair to do everything we do to them if we
No.
couldn't eat them?
no,
So if we can eat them but we don't need to eat them, you think it's fair?
yeah.
So how is that different? So if we can't eat them, we would be to them. Wouldn't it be exactly the same actions being done to them, with the same motivation, simply because you want to?
I guess so.
So
But
the-
the thing is, like, if we erase humans from the equation as well, there are animals that eat other animals, and there are animals that
They do it out of
just-
necessity.
that just eat vegetables, and there are animals that eat both.
But they do it out of necessity.
But
No
an-
animal goes out there and saying, I can choose to eat a plant, but I'm gonna go and kill somebody to eat them.
But there are animals that eat both vegetables and animals.
And they still do it. When they do animals, they do it out of necessity. We have options. No animal will want to hunt instead of killing a plant. We all know that. right? Eating a plant is easy. Why would they want to go and hunt? You can see it in bears. When bears find berries or whatever, like plants that they eat, they
Yeah.
sit there, they eat, and then they
Yeah.
go on
Yeah.
their back and sleep
Yeah, but they also eat animals, right?
when they need to.
Yeah.
You don't need to. There is this factor of need. Let's put it this way: if you're in a deserted island, you could justify eating the flesh of a dead human to survive, could you
Yeah.
not? Could you justify doing the same thing on a day-to-day life?
No.
No. So because then you need it, today you don't. It's the same. Why? How can you, in a situation where you might need to consume an animal product, it's justified. But when you don't, how can it ever be justified?
That's actually a good argument. I will think about it.
Let me just give you a card, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to push it too much. I appreciate you at least, going
Yeah.
through it, and I
Yeah.
hope I didn't upset you because I don't. It's strictly
you
about the
didn't
animals.
upset me, but I don't think we have the same values anyways. But
I
thank
think
you
we
for
have the same values.
Yeah.
I just think you're stuck in this thing that society told you, and
Yeah.
you just take it for granted instead of questioning it. I think you should question it because we did a lot of horrible stuff as a society
Yeah.
throughout our human history. I just don't think that justifies it.
Yeah.
Because again, cats and dogs, you give them the moral consideration, yet these other animals you don't.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. That's where
Yeah.
I see the thing. That's why I think you're this way. If you would have said, yeah, I don't care, I would eat cats and dogs also. Yeah, I'd go to a supermarket right now and buy cats and dogs meat. Then I'd be like, okay, well, maybe we indeed don't have the same values. You don't respect any form of animal, but that's not it, is it?
Yeah. Can I ask you one question that's a little bit unrelated, but
Sure.
how do you feel about eating insects? Because that's
I
been on
mean-
the rise as an protein source that isn't
Do you know why, by the way, insect is on the rise?
No.
Because farmers starting farming insects so that they can feed chickens so that they can kill them earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an insane thing that's animal agriculture does. But
Yeah.
how do I feel about it? I think it's bad. If they're sentient beings, they have emotions. We shouldn't be bringing to life any being, regardless of how big or small they are, right? If there's no need for it, let's not do it.
Yeah.
Especially given that we can get
Yeah.
all the nutrients that we want from a plant-based diet.
Then there also are people that claim plants have feelings, but it's not the same.
Thank you for at least
Yeah.
saying that's not the same, because it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just
Yeah.
tell you one thing.
Yeah.
On this card right here, there's these two videos, Dominion and the most important speech you'll ever hear.
Yeah.
If you scan that QR code, they both appear on top.
Yeah.
Can you just promise me you'll watch one of those two?
Yeah,
Just
I
to
can.
get informed about
Yeah,
what animal
I
agriculture
can
does.
watch it.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
And you have resources to help you there if you
Yeah.
don't want to be part of it. But I just
Yeah.
at least want you to get informed, okay?
Yeah.
I
Thank you
appreciate
for a
it.
good discussion.
What was your name again?
Lineia.
Lineia. I'm
Yeah.
Chip. Have an awesome
Yeah.
day. And
Yeah.
let's be compassionate towards all
Yeah.
animals, okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
I appreciate you. I liked her that she didn't get upset, huh? A lot of people would have gotten upset. I see there's a lot of people confused about the argumentation. That's okay. I'm sure not everybody can understand the arguments well enough, and that's okay. Just take a step back, take a breather, okay? Take a step back. You've heard the arguments. You're outraged by the fact that I compared animal slavery to human slavery. That's okay. Take a step back, breathe in, breathe out, and really question it. Is it really fair to bring to life an animal, to oppress them, to use them how you want to, and then to kill them, to take their life? I'm not saying you eat them afterwards. I'm just asking you, is it really fair to do this to an animal? We'll see. Whether we eat them or not doesn't really matter, does it? Is it fair to do this to them? Animals are dumb. They have no idea, says somebody. Okay, so if we find a human being who is stupid enough that we can do this to them and they wouldn't have any idea, would it be okay to do this to them? Would it be okay to do this to intellectually challenged human beings? To bring them to life, use them, and then kill them? I never said eat them. You say, no, that's cannibalism. I never said eat them. I literally said bring them to life, use them, and then kill them. So many people have this thing, that's cannibalism. Yeah, so what? Eating other animals is called carnism. Just because there's a word for it which you have a negative connotation to does not mean that it's it's negative. It can be negative regardless of the connotation that you give it. I 100% get Streamlabs to work. Yesterday was a very difficult stream where I felt like I had to get off. Miss you, Chip, but belong here on stream. I appreciate you, Axel. Axel, I'm sorry, Axel, but I just don't believe you anymore, man. You've been saying that you got it to work for a while. We'll see. We'll see. What are you confronting people at a vegan? I'm just asking people, trying to show them that their values are generally either morally inconsistent with their actions or inconsistent with other values that they think they hold. Can I see the poster? It's not a poster, it's a sign that says, I'm doing a social experiment, come talk to me. It is mirrored, sadly, because that's what the YouTube app does. It's your opinion too. It is not my opinion. As if you've sat through one of these conversations, you'll notice that I ask people about their values and I try to show contradictions within their own values. I never insert my own opinion into it. I just try to ask questions in a way that gets them to think, to get to the point. No, seriously, this time, says Axel. Okay, Axel, I hope so. Are you in the Netherlands? Yes, I am. I'm in Amsterdam right now. As you see, there's a beautiful canal behind me. There's bikes coming all over the street. It's nice, yeah. Still your opinion, though. I don't think you know what an opinion is, then. Want to try a social experiment? Hi. You want to try the social experiment?
Sure, why not?
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, it's fine.
What's your name?
I'm Fee. Fee.
Fih.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
18. Okay. Because you can't give informed consent otherwise of being live.
Yeah.
Okay. So Fih.
Yeah.
I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Well, yeah, for sure.
What rights do you think they deserve?
Well, I guess the right to live. I mean, yeah.
The right to live, I appreciate that. Do you think they also deserve the right to not be exploited by us?
What kind of exploitation? Like
Of
money?
using their body, for example, and when
like-
you can no longer use their body, kill them.
Oh, for like experiments, like for science.
Experiments, for example, yeah. There's other ways we could do.
Well, I mean, I know that like mice, for example, are bred for like experiments for science, and I think since we're doing like a lot of scientific experiments for like cancer, I think they're still needed in some way.
Even
But
if 95% of those experiments are not translatable to humans.
Well, I think that's like one thing, especially. Well, I'm not quite sure. I'm not really that much into like. I don't know many things about it, but I know that I think some scientific experiments are needed and some are not, and I think the distribution of what is needed and what is not needs to be like a bit more specific to like.
But if it's not
animals.
needed, do you think testing on animals is fair?
I don't think so. Well, I think it's a very complicated topic that can't be seen as like no or yes.
Okay.
I think it needs to be like specific, or it needs to be like more specified. What is really exploitation? What is needed? Like, you know, make it a little bit more open to discussion or something.
So exploitation means unfair usage, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So do you think it's unfair that we use them when we don't need to?
It can be, yeah. It could be unfair if seen as like.
If there's no need,
exploitation.
right?
If there's no need, I think we should like say, okay, if it's not needed, then let's not do that. And
Okay.
if it's needed for like cancer or like just seeing or experimenting for people who have like illnesses that need to be cured or something, then I think it's needed. Like.
Okay, so but if it's not needed, do you think it's okay to exploit an animal?
Well, no. If you word it that way, of course not.
Okay. So then, do you think that, for example, animal agriculture, do you think is needed for us?
To breed animals for like
For
specific
food,
things.
for clothing?
Well, seen as we like as a community grow and humans are getting more and more, I think for now, yes, because otherwise, how would we feed people? But as well, like, do we have also like people who eat too much, for example? I'm not saying like.
But does that justify need, or does that justify?
Well, it's not. No, it doesn't. That's why I'm saying like I think we need to be a little bit more careful about what we eat and how much we eat of it. For example, like I think to stay vegetarian for like some time and then eat meat like just in between, I think that's better than just eating meat every day, for example.
Let me ask you this: I like to impregnate dogs so that they get pregnant, and
Okay.
then I kill their babies. I eat their flesh of the babies, and then I drink their milk.
Okay.
And when I
That's-
can no longer get the dogs pregnant, I do that repeatedly every year. And when I can no longer get them pregnant, I also kill them and eat them. Is it fair?
I mean, that's a very like crass thing to say. Well, I mean, yes, I think it's a real life thing.
Yeah.
I know that.
It's instead of dogs, it's cows.
Instead of dogs, it's cows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's since we don't know much about it or we don't like think about it as much. It's like crass to say just something like that out of the street, but it's a real life thing. I mean, we have like we have a lot of problems that need to be fixed, but I also think that we need to be like more aware of those problems before we can fix them. So.
But do you
like,
think what I'm doing is needed?
Yeah, it's definitely. I think
It's needed.
Yeah.
I can always choose a plant-based diet, but I want to
Yeah.
do this. How is
yeah,
it needed?
well, because it spreads awareness, definitely.
No. I mean
Oh.
the action that I'm doing, not what I'm doing
To
now
like-
with you.
to like just
to
like-
specifically to impregnate cows,
Oh.
take their baby, kill them, and kill their babies.
No, of course not.
It's not needed,
no,
right?
I mean, it's something that is like, if we say it like this, it's definitely like I'm saying, oh my God, no, it's not needed.
Exactly.
Yeah, but again, we have to, we especially have to like think about this current situation we have in the world, and I mean,
What if I
that's
told you
one
that we
problem.
could feed more people on a plant-based diet?
Then I would definitely say yes, do that. But as I said, like we need to be a little bit more aware of what we eat, of course. Like we can't eat meat every day. We can't eat. Like,
Can we eat meat ever, knowing that we don't need to, and knowing that behind it an innocent animal was exploited and killed?
That's a good question that I like on my like information. I definitely can't answer like immediately.
You definitely can.
I definitely can't like answer it immediately. I think.
Why not?
Well, I think.
Put yourself in the position of the animal.
Yeah.
Would it be fair for me to bring you to life and kill you?
No, of
I
course
give you a
not.
good life
No, of course not. That's no, of
for
course
your
not.
body, because I don't really care who you are as an individual, just for your body.
Well, yeah, I think that's why we need to support more like farmers.
Yeah.
That's why we need to support like more farmers that actually like care about their animals and feed them correctly and kind of wait for a bit for them to have a great life, for example.
And they still kill them.
Well, yes, I mean we've killed animals for like hundreds of years, but not in that massive production that we have today. I think that needs to change.
Why does that matter?
The mass production. I
Yeah.
mean, I think a lot of.
So wait a
CO2
minute. If I kill a person, it's bad, right?
Yeah.
If I kill
definitely.
100,000 people, is it bad?
Well, yes.
So if I kill 100,000 people, does that mean I can justify killing one person?
I mean, no, definitely not.
No.
Like,
So yeah, we do kill hundreds of thousands, millions of animals,
Mm-hmm.
billions really, each year. Does that justify killing one single animal?
I think it's a very good question to ask because I mean we have morals and you're putting like
Yeah.
morals onto like animals, you know. I mean I'm not saying
I'm
you
putting
shouldn't.
morals on what we do to animals, not necessarily.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think people see. I mean, animals like we are aware that we have a life. We are aware that oh my God, we live. We have only these years to live. From what I know, animals don't have that. That's why we see it as like.
They're sentient.
Yes, of course they are sentient, but
They have their subjects of their own universe.
yes, of course.
So if you find a human being who does not have this thing that you say, who's not aware of their survival or when they'll die, they're intellectually challenged enough. Maybe they say they have the same cognitive abilities of an animal. Would it be okay to farm them?
No. I mean, the thing is, do we have humans who are not aware? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that we have, yeah. And I mean, we kind of don't kill them, but we put them like in mental institutions. So.
We'll generally take care of them.
Well, yeah, we do take care of them because again,
we don't
they're
use their bodies,
human.
right?
I mean, there are people who use their body for scientific things, yes, but they
Not
do
against
give
their consent.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, are animals like in a sense where they can give consent? I don't think so.
No, they can't.
That's why people like you give them the right to give consent. The thing is, we need to like ask, okay, when does an animal give consent and when does it not?
And if an individual cannot consent, do you think we should still do that action to them?
Well, if an individual, like, if we speak about consent, if an individual cannot consent to things, for example, when my mom consents for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing.
But she does it in your interest, doesn't she?
She does. That's why.
Would
that's
it
why
be
I
fair
think,
if your mom consented for you to be a slave because she wants to get benefit from it?
Well, no.
No.
That's why I said.
So she has to look for your interest when she consents for you, correct?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I think farmers like give interest, like have an interest in their like in their animals.
What interest do you think
Well,
farmers
that they.
have?
Well, I mean.
Do you
I
think they have the interest in animals, or do you think they have the interest in giving products to customers?
Well, I mean, who doesn't have interest to put products out there today?
So it's not the animals, is it?
I mean, it's never the animals. It's like always on us to change the world. That's what I think. And I think when we want change, then there is change. That's why I think something like you're doing to kind of see, okay, I'm putting this view out of there. I'm saying this is what I think is really, really good. That's
But
what
this
I'm
isn't
saying.
necessarily what I think. I'm just trying to ask you a question to get you to
Yes,
think a little
yes,
bit,
of
right? So,
course.
so let me put it this way: if you were faced between a choice between oppressing an animal or not, even if you get benefit from oppressing the animal, you get benefit from both, let's say. But let's just say you're used to the benefit you get from animal oppression. Do you think it's morally justified to choose to oppress an animal?
To choose to oppress an animal for like my benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you could get a similar benefit from not oppressing them.
Okay, so if I can get a similar benefit from not oppressing them, then no,
No.
definitely not.
So then, do you think you can thrive on a plant-based diet?
Definitely, yes. I mean, if I choose what to eat, if I know what to eat, of course, yeah, sure.
So then wouldn't this logic apply then every time you make a choice on what you eat? Because when you buy an animal product, an animal was oppressed for you, and you could always choose a plant-based product, right?
Yeah, well, for me, the thing is, I always have like a feeling of, okay, I need these things to live because my body needs them. And I think there are some, now there are some products that kind of replace the animal products, which I could use. Most of the time it's very expensive, for example, like if I...
Where do you live, by the way?
In Germany.
In Germany.
Yeah, and Germany, Germany is a lot like meat-based diet, so there's
Everywhere around the world it is.
So there's like not much restaurants that like say, okay, we
Where
are
in Germany?
fully vegetarian.
Where in Germany?
Magdeburg. I think there's like one or two, but like not many. But there are always options to choose.
In the supermarket, and there's always options,
indeed,
right?
indeed. But most of them are very expensive, either.
In
or,
restaurants, you mean, or in the supermarket?
Overall, in restaurants and in.
Because I can tell you that when it comes to food, like in supermarkets or the food that you make, there's been studies about Germany, about England, about all of Western Europe, and it's actually cheaper to adopt a plant-based diet. Because a lot of the times we imagine that the products you buy, as you said, are meat replacers or cheese replacers or this kind of stuff, but you don't have to eat those. You can eat those from time to time, but like if you're gonna eat a whole food plant-based diet, which is anyway healthier, you're gonna be cheaper actually overall, up to 30% cheaper even.
Well, interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I definitely need to do more research. I mean, you definitely did like a lot of research.
So do you think? But do you think?
Here.
Well, let's say it costs 10% more. Do you think that justifies oppressing the animal?
To like cost 10% more, and then that justifies to oppress the animal. For the people who use the animal for their own gain, I mean, yes, for their own gain, definitely. For me personally.
Wait, so if they benefit from it, it justifies the oppression?
Well, no, it just doesn't justify it, but they think it's justified to have more, to have more money, of course, which is definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I think that I wouldn't like. I think I would definitely like. I mean, I am also already eating a very plant-based diet. Like I do eat like the vegan butter, for example, because well, it's cheaper for like for starters, and I think it tastes the same as well. So I'm definitely also like kind of changing my diet to it. I think Since it's
I
not
love meat.
since
This is the type of person.
yeah, no, I
They
know.
justify animal oppression that by yelling "I love meat." It's the
Well-
same as somebody justifying rape by saying "I love sex."
Yeah, maybe, maybe not.
It's
Definitely,
it's an unjust act done towards an innocent individual who does not consent to it, where you're violating their rights, their body autonomy, all because you get some benefit from it.
okay. Well, again,
And animals in animal agriculture are subjected to the act of being raped every single day almost.
yeah, but these people like do exist, and for like one thing, some people just have different opinions, and just it's different, and we need to like also like.
I haven't met a
understand
single
that.
person. I haven't met a single person who can justify it.
Well,
And I've spoken to thousands of people.
yeah. The thing is like, justifying is always like one thing that's very hard to justify things.
So that makes it
There-
unjust.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, it makes it unjust. Yeah, definitely.
So then, do you think we should live in a society where we do unjust things just because we get pleasure from it?
No,
taste
but
pleasure?
there are a lot of like unjustified things. A lot of problems, a lot of
I
unjust.
agree, but you wouldn't
I
want
do
to be
agree.
part of them, right?
I mean, no, of course not.
If you could
nobody
help it, you
nobody would like to be part of it. But I think sometimes there are unjust things that we can change as a singular person. That's why we have movements. That's why we have like
I agree.
movement rights. And I think if we get to a point where
But
we
in this
accept
case, do you think?
everything-
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
do you think that in this case? Sorry for interrupting.
No, of
Do you
course.
think- do you think that in this case you could make a difference in this situation? Like, do you think you can choose to not be unjust?
I can-
Even if
Yeah.
even if the whole society is unjust, even if that makes a very small difference. It obviously makes a difference to some animals, but
Mm-hmm.
do you think you can choose that?
Well, I think if I change, sometimes people will change around me. So it's
Yeah, it
kind of
always
like a
trickles
key
down,
reaction. Yeah. If I don't think I can change everybody's mind, but I
No,
can
but
at
your
least
own.
I can at least like for me myself change things that I'm proud of, for example,
Exactly.
and can kind of feel good about myself.
Exactly. So I appreciate this conversation. I feel like I just want to give you a card right now because I've been.
Thank you.
I don't know where we're going towards this, but I just do one thing: scan this QR code and watch either the Minion or the most important speech you'll ever hear.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just you promise me you'll watch one of these two,
I'll try definitely in my free time.
and let's do this. Until you watch one of these two, don't consume any animal products.
Yeah, I do know I do know Dominion.
You know it?
I do know it.
Have you seen it?
I have seen bits of it. Yeah.
You just have seen bits of it.
Yes.
What did you think?
It's definitely crass. I did do a presentation about these kind of things. I did
Yeah.
like in school. I just got out of school, so
Yeah.
we were promised to stay informed, and we were informed a lot. I think every school should kind of inform people about this. It's an information that many people need to know, and then based on that, accept change or don't change it. That's depending on them, I think.
Sadly so.
Yeah.
Sadly so. That's the
But-
thing. We depend on the individuals
Yeah.
to change at this
Yeah.
point in time.
But it's also their freedom to. I mean, it's their freedom to choose, and we can't change
But do you think
that.
it should be their freedom?
Um,
What do you think?
Well-
Like, do you think we should have the freedom to be violent towards animals?
The thing is that many people want a free choice, and when people are diminished of that free choice, there's an outroar of these things. I
But should
think.
we have the freedom to be violent towards cats and dogs?
Well, we shouldn't be free to be violent on any things, not even not on us, not on things, but people are violent. I think
I
that's
know.
just something we need to accept as well.
I know, but like it just. So I know that the world is fucked up. By the way, I know. It's just that when I say should is because I really want to focus on how the world should be, because when we focus on how the world should be, we can look in that direction and make the changes for ourselves.
Yes, indeed.
To make the world how
Indeed,
it wants
yes,
to be.
yes.
And even if the world doesn't become that way, at least we die trying. We live our whole life and die trying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What else could there be
Yeah.
out of life if not
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I think we should make most of our life and live our life well. I think that's a good motto to live by.
Yeah, and not oppress others.
Well, that's I think a given.
Yeah. So-
for many.
So watch one of these. Maybe watch the most important speech ever here. Then it appears it's the second video that appears after this. Until then, don't consume animal products. Okay? Let's do this.
I'll definitely try.
Okay.
Trying
okay.
is always good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Have a
and
good
good
one.
job. Yeah, on that.
Bye. I don't know. I don't know. She seemed like a smart person. I don't know. Just, yeah. Evoke has a good question. Is there anything you do that is nearly as unjust as purchasing animal products? Anything that I do that is as unjust as purchasing animal products? I would say killing mosquitoes is something that's extremely unjust. That's what I do. I don't like mosquitoes in my house. I don't go outside and kill them, of course. But if they enter my house, I try taking them out a lot of the times, but most of the times I just end up killing them. It's pretty unjust, you know. I could always. Perfect. Thank you. Not you, the carnist. Oh, I see. This is the question you mean. Is there anything you do that is nearly as unjust as purchasing animal products? That's what I should ask people, you're saying. It's a good point. I'll ask that one. It's a good point. To be fair, mosquitoes are self-defense. I mean, they're not really self-defense. When they're in my house, they're preemptive self-defense, right? You could say that. But they're just such dicks, man. You never know when they bite you, and I hate being bitten by mosquitoes and being bzzzt over.
Hi.
Hey, you want to try the social experiment?
Okay, that's right.
Are you okay being live from my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
How old are you?
17.
17?
17.
Oh, sorry. It's like you can be off camera if you want, but like
Okay.
you can't be
I
on
don't
camera
mind.
if you're not, because you can't give informed consent to be on camera.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Of course. Yeah.
What rights do you think they deserve?
All of them that is possible, like literally the right to live, to be free in the matter that it's so possible too.
Es que me he quedado en...
Animales, los derechos de animales, ¿qué derechos deberían de tener?
Yeah, I think that they will have to like can be free and don't have to be in zoos and that kind of things because it's like they don't have much space to move.
Do you think animals should have the right to be free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think animal agriculture treats animals as if they're free?
Okay.
Los de agricultura o de los que tienen en macrogranjas, etc.
No, I think that they will the animals that we used to eat like will be better in like external spaces, but third.
And that way, most of all, you wouldn't have the meat that you eat in the same prices, and that's the thing too.
Yeah.
But wait, I don't care about them having a good space, right? Because do you think that if they have a big cage, they're
It's still
free?
a cage.
It's still a cage, is it not?
There
So if they
should
give
be
them a lot of space,
We should get like a balance between because the humans, yes or yes, they can live without meat, and that's
Exactly.
true. But you cannot do it because it's so normalized. That's not even possible right now. You can just.
But what do
eat-
you think? How do you think it should be? Do you think we should consume meat or animal products? I know it's normalized. I know this
Yeah.
is how it is. But do you think it should be this way, knowing that animals are enslaved
I'm
for it?
vegetarian, so.
You're vegetarian. Do you
Yeah.
consume dairy products? Why are you vegetarian, by the way?
Because I can live without meat really easily. I do not crave for meat, or it's like I like it, yes, but I don't need it to live. I am really
Exactly.
good how I am, and that's it.
Do you consume dairy products?
Dairy.
Dairy, like milk, cheese, eggs?
Yes, that's I do consume, but because I live in a village, we go to a shop actually that knows where the products come from. So it's really easy to know if the products like the eggs of the chickens have a good life or not. And I mean, it's really hard to get it, but sometimes we try at least from what we can about animals that have a good life.
Why do you think cows produce milk? Why do cows produce milk?
For the babies, first of all.
Do you think they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
I think that was way before, but now with evolution, you just have cows that can have milk without having babies.
No,
I've read it, I don't know.
they still have to have babies. They're mammals.
Yeah, of course, they can have babies, but
Yeah.
they can produce milk without them.
No. They have to be pregnant. If you, the reason why you don't see the baby is because farmers impregnate them, and then when the baby is born, they take them away from their mothers. Do you know why they take them away from their mothers?
Because then they would take the milk.
Exactly. You're right.
That's so hard in that
It
way.
is bad, right?
Yeah,
If the baby is born male, what do you think they do to them?
kill them.
Exactly. If the baby is born female, every year, like their mother, impregnated, baby's taken and exploited for their milk, and they do this repeatedly year over year,
Yeah.
up until the age of 6 or 8, depending on the breed, depending on the farm. Let's say if it's a really good farm, 8 years. Afterwards, they kill them. And cows can live 24, 25 years. Do you know why they kill them at that age?
Because they do not produce as much as before.
Yeah.
That's one time. Either they don't produce much or they can't get them pregnant. Either way, they kill them.
Yeah.
Is this fair?
No.
No.
No. Can we live without these products?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you call a person that doesn't pay for any of this?
That doesn't pay.
Yeah, for any of this, for any animal product.
Like they get it, but they don't pay.
No, they don't get any animal product. They respect animals.
They will still be alive.
They will still be alive, but there's a term. Do you know how you call that?
I don't know.
Vegan.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever considered being vegan?
Yes, but it's a really hard life here, and
Yeah.
I mean you can do whatever you can in your life, but not complicate it as much as it. That's why at least it's better trying to minimize the consume than just bend it off.
So let me put it in a hypothetical. It may sound a little bit absurd, but let's imagine that that I go and slap women's asses every single day, and I meet somebody on the street like you met me, and they tell me, what you're doing is wrong. You're not considering what these women want. And I'm like, you're right. I'll minimize it. I'll only do it on Tuesdays from now on.
Of course.
Is it fair?
No.
No. So even if we minimize, we're still in the same position where we're being unfair towards them. It's just that we're being less times unfair.
Of course.
Yeah.
The thing is most of all for the world right now it's impossible. The thing is like we can go little by little.
Yeah,
until
one by
the
one.
Objective.
One
Exactly.
by one, by
That's the thing.
individuals, right? So do you think that you have some responsibility for this?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do like put our little grain of sand.
Shit. Yeah.
How you say it? And that's it. Okay.
Can you be vegan?
We can try most of all to minimize, but I don't know if I could. But
Being vegan means respecting animals,
I
by
know,
the way. Being vegan is
but
to animals what feminism is
even
to
not
women.
being, it can still mean that you respect them and you try to take care of them.
Wait, do you think that the cow that was forcefully impregnated so that you can take their milk?
No, but I just do not drink their milk.
Well,
I
the
take
cheese.
because that from a village you can take whatever your friend that is a farmer. You can take from them because they really
They do
take
the
care
same
of
thing,
it.
Yeah.
No,
They do the same
not.
thing.
No.
Well, cows have to
It
have
depends.
babies, and all farmers impregnate them. I come from Romania. I've seen it in my grandmother's backyard. And farmers will literally tell you what you want to hear so that you buy their product, right? If you want to hear that the cows are treated nicely, they'll tell you the cows are treated nicely. If you want to hear that the baby is not taken away, the baby is not taken away. They'll tell you whatever. But the reality is, time and time again, every single farm, every single institution, when you put a camera inside them, 24-hour camera, and you see what they do, they always do exactly the same thing. There hasn't been a single case where they say I do a different thing. And as I said, I saw it in my grandmother's backyard being done. So is that justified?
No.
No. So we can choose otherwise, can't we?
Yeah.
Do you think that when we make these choices, we are infringing on the choices of the animals to be free to live? Do you think you can say animals should be free while at the same time pay for them to not be free? Is that not a contradiction?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Can you choose something else?
I don't know what to say right now.
Yeah.
Because we reached the point where you
Yeah, of
realize that
course.
it's not
We know.
really justifiable, even if you
course.
buy it from a local farm, right? As you say.
course.
Okay. So how many more animals should be exploited for you until you change?
Not too much.
Not too much.
Because I do not, for example, I do not drink milk because I just don't like it.
So only some animals should be exploited because they don't really deserve to live anyway.
They still deserve.
But you're gonna pay for them, even if you say they deserve, but your actions are gonna say they don't
No.
really deserve. You see what I'm doing?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm doing?
know.
You see? What do you think?
That of course we should try to like band it off. Of course it is, but still it's hard, and still I know that you should stop about it, and that's it.
Okay, let me just give you some cards because I think we're going nowhere.
Okay.
So watch the minion, or I think you'll enjoy the most important speech lever here. It appears if you scan this QR code, it's the second video. You promise me you'll watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and until you watch that, just let's do this small thing. Until you watch that, don't consume any animal
All right.
products. Okay?
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Have a nice day.
Have
Thank
a
you.
nice day.
Have a nice day. Cheers.
What's the topic of the day?
I'm speaking about animals. Do you want to try it?
Sure.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Alan,
Alan, nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Where are you from?
Canada,
You
Montreal,
want to
Canada.
come here so that you can view?
Montreal, Canada.
Montreal, Canada. Okay, do you think animals... I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals.
Okay.
Do you think animals deserve rights?
Sure. Depends. It depends for what purpose, because there is a fine line between farming animal and domestic animals that you don't consume type thing. So
Do you think farming animals is taking away their rights?
I don't believe that animals that are raised for consumption have the
That are raised
same
to be
rights.
killed.
Don't have the same rights as a pet.
Obviously they don't. Do you think they should?
But they should have some kind of a right where they're treated humanely.
Why does it matter if they're treated humanely or not? If at the end of the day you take their life for an optional product,
I take their life-
you disregard who they are as an individual, and you only care about their body. Why does it matter if you treat them nicely or not?
Because one's for consumption and the other one's for
Who decided that?
we did as humans.
Yeah. So if
Because
I decide,
we are the top predator.
So if I have power over other individuals, like let's say I have power over you, if she's your wife.
Heck, I'd
and-
eat you too if I had a chance.
But if I had power over you and I say that your purpose is to be my slave, does that mean that it's fair for me to treat you like a slave?
No. But
So then
again,
if
we are
decide-
humans.
So
We are
if we
humans.
decide that their purpose is for us to kill them, does that mean that it's fair for us to kill them?
They're raised for that purpose.
So do you think raising a sentient being only to take their life for an optional product is fair?
Well, as a meat eater myself, I do believe yes.
So if we do the exactly same thing to a dog, then it would be fair. If we raise
Well,
a
in some
dog,
countries, they do eat dogs.
but
So-
according to you, if we started raising dogs to kill them, to exploit them and then kill them, you would participate in it. You would give your money to
dogs, rats, birds. I'm a
Okay.
hunter and I'm a fisherman.
it. Right? So
by
you would
trade.
eat dogs also, right?
I haven't eaten dogs, but I would if I had to survive for it.
No, not if you had to survive. In the same situation, you can always choose something else, but you are going to choose to take the life of a dog.
No,
Yeah?
no.
Okay.
Because
so
it's for
what about a
consumption.
human being?
The human being, I have no
What if
problems
we
eating
bring
a human being.
You have no problems bringing
No
to
problems
life
at all.
humans so that we can kill them for optional food.
I don't have problems to eat humans again for survival.
Not for
aspect.
survival, yet again, in the same
You
situation.
can't farm humans. You can,
In the same situation. So you don't need to do it, but you want to do it. So does that justify bringing to life a human being to use them and then kill them for an optional product?
Not for a human being.
Not for a human being.
Not for a human
so
being,
why
because
is it
we are
unfair
the-
for a human being, but it's fair for an animal?
Because human beings are the ones that dictate what's going on.
So do you think
No.
that the oppressor who has, because you're saying human beings have power, therefore it's wrong to do it to them. So then let's see if part of our society gets divided, and let's say the richest people on earth, they no longer call themselves humans, but they call themselves superhumans. Does that mean that they have the right to oppress everybody else because they say, well, you're not part of my society?
Personally, I believe that it's ignorant of a human being to think that way. Now, I do
But that's
believe
what you're justifying.
I do believe that you are, as humans, no matter our social standings, we're all equal as humans.
What makes us equal?
the humanity? the
So
human
just the
being
fact that
itself.
we were born the species.
Yeah, but a cow
What
can't.
is a species?
A cow can't define.
What is a species?
The species, we're a different species.
What is a species?
A species would be, I don't know how to actually phrase it.
It's a biological category.
Yes, it is. I agree
So
with
if we
that.
choose a different biological category and we say men who have power over women, it's a biological category. Men can justify by saying we are obviously have more power than women.
No.
We are born biologically to have more muscle to
No,
to
we're
be
still
easier.
humans.
We're
Like,
but you see,
compared with a
but
fish.
that's what you do, because what you do is you bring it back to the category that you were thought it's wrong. But when it comes to animals, we're also animals. Why is it that when it comes to animals, you don't say, wait, no, we're still animals?
We're considered intelligent beings compared to an animal which lives under survival context.
Not all human beings are as intelligent as you and I. There's
I
human
believe
beings
there
who
are some
have the
stupid people in the world. I do
There's-
believe there are some stupid people.
There's
like,
human
you know.
beings who have the cognitive abilities of an animal. Would it be okay to oppress them for an optional product?
No, you can't oppress a human being.
So why not?
Totally disagree to oppress
Because
human
if you
beings.
say it's by intelligence, then
Because we are
should
the
do it
higher,
by
we are
intelligence.
part of the hierarchy. We are the top predator.
So what might makes right? What you're saying? Because we have power, then it's okay.
No, it's because we are the top predator in the chain of life.
Yeah. So because we have power,
So
that's
now
what you're saying.
it doesn't mean that we have power to overcome people. It doesn't mean we have the power to take over somebody's life. It doesn't mean we have power
So
to
you're
rule
saying,
upon you.
but you're saying that what you're saying is this: we're a biological category who has power over other biological categories. Therefore, our oppression over them is justified. Correct?
I wouldn't call it as oppression.
I mean, it is
when
cruel
you're
and
farming,
unjust.
When you're
it
farming
is by
an animal-
definition it is cruel and unjust. It is by definition oppression. Yeah. But it doesn't matter.
I
Let's not
don't
get
really
stuck in
agree-
this
I don't
world.
really
Let's
agree
not
with
get
that.
stuck. Okay, is it okay to be violent towards them? There you
No,
go.
of course. I don't
Okay,
beat. I
so-
don't beat my dogs.
Okay.
I don't beat a cow.
But killing them is violent, is it not?
Only for consumption.
But it is
See,
still violent for consumption.
There's a humane way of doing it.
Yes,
You don't
yes.
have to be violent to
What is
kill
that
something.
humane? Well, humane means compassionate and benevolence. Tell me
Exactly.
a compassionate and benevolent way to take somebody's life when you don't need to.
As a human being, no. But as an animal, there is a compassionate way of doing it.
Can we not get stuck in words? Tell me a compassionate and benevolent way to take the life of an innocent animal when you don't need to.
When you don't need to,
Yeah.
you don't take a life.
Oh,
When
okay.
you need
Do you
to,
think you need to consume animal products?
But yeah, of course, I eat meat.
Do you
I'm
think
a
you
meat
need
eater.
to do it?
Yes.
Do you think you can thrive on a plant-based diet?
No.
No. So what would convince you of this, that you can't thrive on a plant-based diet? Because I have empirical evidence that says otherwise. But it
No.
seems like you don't really care about science.
Well, I do believe about science, but I don't agree in the.
What science do you care
And
about? Do you think the Earth is flat
I
also?
believe there's only two genders. There's the
Jesus
science there
Christ.
behind there. Okay.
Oh, so you don't
I
trust
believe-
biology at all?
I believe that there's only two genders, male and females. I believe.
So you don't believe intersex that actually exist?
No.
Jesus
No, I
fucking
don't
Christ,
believe-
man.
I
Do
totally
you believe the Earth
disagree
is
on
flat
transgenders.
also? Do you believe the Earth is flat also?
The Earth? I know. Fuck, the Earth is round.
Well, wow.
You know?
Wow.
The Earth is round. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at the constellations, if you look at anything that is outside this planet,
Look at you
everything's
picking
round.
the science that you believe in. You only
Yeah.
believe in this science.
I believe
but
in
this
all
other
science.
science you don't believe in.
I believe in all sciences. I believe in the
No,
science of evolution.
clearly you don't believe in biology. You don't
Penicillin,
believe
I
in you don't believe in biology. Hell, why am I even talking to you about animal rights when you don't even believe in human rights?
Human rights is acquired.
Human rights are acquired.
Yes.
So all of a sudden you just said that it's wrong to exploit and slaughter a human because they're human, but now
No,
they
I
have
never
to
said it was
acquire
wrong.
that.
I never said it was wrong to exploit a human.
It's
I
not
never
wrong to
said it
exploit a
was
human.
wrong to
Is it right?
dispatch somebody.
Please tell me more because you're just giving me good content right now. Tell me
This is
more
what I'm
of
trying to do.
this view.
This is what
yeah.
I'm trying to do is
yeah.
to help you out. Now,
Yeah.
I do believe that you can farm animals and culture
humans.
animals.
And humans.
Humans is not really my taste.
No, but you
okay?
can farm them because they haven't
There's a lot
acquired
of
the
people,
right
There's
yet.
a lot of people that are into
They haven't
cannibalism.
acquired the right yet, so you can farm
You know,
them. Right?
cannibalism is not my thing.
No, but
Okay,
but
it's like,
but
I
you
don't
could, if you could, you would, right?
to survive, yes.
Not to survive it again in the same situation. You always bring
No,
this
means
other
only to
quantifier.
survive. It means all has to do with survival.
Okay, so why is it that in all these other situations it's not justified?
I really don't know how to answer that.
Do you think that you value your life?
I don't really value life in general.
Do you think that I value my life as much as you value your own life?
Yes, I think
you
you.
think
I
that-
think you value yours more than I value mine.
Perhaps. I don't know how much you value your life, but do you think in general every single human being values their own life as much as every other animal values their life?
True.
Yeah.
I
So
do
do you
that.
think
Makes sense.
So what do you think matters more? Is it the value that we place on them or the value that they intrinsically have?
It's the value that we place on them.
Is the value that we place on them. So by that logic, you can justify racism because
No.
if somebody wait, let me explain. You say no because you don't want to look bad,
No,
but your
I just
logic
don't-
does
I
justify
agree
racism.
that all humans are
Let me
equal.
explain to you how your logic justify racism. First of all, because might makes right, as you just explained before. We have power over them, so therefore it's justified to do whatever we want to them. Number one, and number two, you said that the value that matters is the value that we place on them. So if we as a society decided that a certain race we place a less value on them, then it would be justified to do whatever we want to them, according to you, because it's the value that we place on them that matters, correct?
Again, you are putting humans in the same category.
Because
as
we're animals.
livestock.
Yes, we are in the same
But
category.
we are
We're
not
animals.
in the same category as
We are.
livestock.
We are animals. We're
Because
mammals.
we have emancipated, we have grown, we have
We're mammals, yes.
intelligence. We
Not all
have-
humans have intelligence, as we've
I know,
established.
but the intelligence that we have to talk,
And
to
not all
read,
humans
to
are
write, to
emancipated.
socialize,
So wait a minute. If
you
we
know?
find a human being who's not emancipated or doesn't have the intelligence of a regular human being, who has the intelligence or the
What's
cognitive
a
abilities
regular
of an
human
animal,
being? What's
would
an
it be okay to
irregular
oppress
human
them?
being?
So
What's
if we
an
find a
irregular
human being,
human
so if we find a human being who has the cognitive abilities of an animal, would it be okay to oppress them?
No,
No,
because they're humans.
because they're humans. So you
There's
see,
a fine
you always
line.
come back to this biological category, right?
Yes.
Can I ask you? Can you formulate a good logical reason on why why you have to draw the line at something that you can't even explain yourself what it is?
My knowledge and intelligence is limited to your questioning or to the elevation of your questioning. I'm a simple man with simple needs. Okay, I want to survive. I
You
wanna
were
take
told
care-
one thing, you never questioned
I
it, and
wanna-
you follow it.
Oh, I question all kinds of things.
But not this one.
There's no questioning to be done.
Well,
The
there
only
is. You just
questioning
don't
there
want
is
to
to be done
question it.
is human against humans. I'm against wars. I'm against people fighting. amongst
No,
one
you're
another.
not. You just said that
You know?
might makes right. You just said that if we have power over them, it's justified.
Over the
all of
human
the sudden,
beings, no.
all of
Over
the
animals, yes.
Yeah. So can you please explain to me where is the logic in here? Why is it over the animals? Yes, justified, but over the humans, no.
Okay, you got me confused on that one because we're beating around the bush a lot.
I need you to give me a good explanation. When it comes to violence, I would say you need a pretty good explanation to justify violence. Otherwise, you just saying because I believe this or that is not good enough justification.
No,
Otherwise,
because
you're
again,
exactly like a racist.
Again, I go back to the primordial soup. Okay, humanity was created and
Humanity
evolved-
was created.
Well, was created like all animals, like the trees and like.
So
that,
humanity evolved.
Everything. Yeah, we evolved as
Okay.
humans,
As primates, yeah.
and then anything else. Animals
They all evolved also.
are of a lower species.
They're not a lower species. They evolved. Like, wait a minute. If we judge a being by their capability to fly, would it be okay for then birds to oppress humans because humans can't fly and birds can fly?
Birds can't.
Because then
birds can't reason.
birds could then say, look at us. We're so evolved. We can fly.
Could
Humans
is a
cannot.
big word. Could is a big word. First of all, birds can't speak. They can only fly and chirp.
You seem
Okay?
to be missing the point altogether. You just seem to be stuck in this narrative of this
Well,
is how the world
let's
is.
just keep
this
it
is,
this way
You
and-
don't seem to understand hypothetical. So in a hypothetical scenario where birds could
But
theoretically oppress human
hypothetically
beings.
does not exist for me.
No,
Me,
but
it's
hypotheticals,
concrete
you know why?
facts.
Well, if so,
Give
wait
me
a minute.
concrete fact that
Okay,
a
so if
human being
hypothetically I
cannot eat a
throw your
chicken.
wife in the canal, are you gonna save her?
Yes.
So you can answer hypothetical questions. Now I'll ask you another hypothetical question, okay?
You're good. You're good. You're
Thank
really
you,
good.
Thank you. Okay. So if I ask you another hypothetical question, hypothetically speaking, birds have the same level of intelligence as humans,
No, they
and they
don't.
judge. Let's hypothetically say that they do, and then they say, "Look at us. We're obviously the superior species because we can fly and humans cannot." Would it be okay for birds to oppress humans?
But they're not superior.
But they would be because they would have the same level of intelligence as us, but they could also fly.
No, that's not reality.
But no, it's not. It's a hypothetical.
Yeah, well, me, I work on reality things.
Oh, but in the other hypothetical I just threw out there, you could answer it.
There are certain situations, questions that you've asked me.
It
and
seems to me like
manipulation.
the only reason why you don't answer this hypothetical is because you would know you would be caught in this idea of it would be wrong to oppress humans because you know why
Of
you
course
only
it's
care,
wrong to
yeah,
oppress humans.
because you know why because you're human
I would
because you
not
only
oppress-
care about the individuals of your own group. Just
Yes, I
like a
do.
racist would only care about the individuals of their own group.
Like,
just like a
I take care
sexist
of
would only
handicaps.
just
I
like a
take care of
sexist would only
handicaps.
care about the individuals of their own group. None of them are justified. Racism, sexism, none of them are justified.
No, not really.
And none of them have a logical reason to be so. None
True.
of them have a logical reason to say, I care about the individuals of my group, but not individuals of this other group. And you can also not find any form of logical reasoning to say, I care about the individuals of my group, but not of the individuals of this other group. All you say is because they're humans, because they're part of my group. That's all you're saying.
True.
So your motivation you're bringing is exactly the same motivation a racist or a sexist is bringing.
I disagree, but you do have a point. Thank you.
I'll just give you a card because we're going nowhere. Stop treating animals like objects. Let's just see them as the individuals that they are and leave them alone. Watch the minion.
Yes,
It
sir.
appears here on top, okay?
Thank you very
You
much.
might not be okay with it,
Thank you for
okay?
your time.
Sure, have a good one.
Have a good day.
You want to have a conversation with me?
Sure, bro.
I'm sure you already heard the conversation so far.
Yeah, I was listening a little bit to this one.
Yeah.
First of all, my name is Storm. Nice to meet
Storm,
you.
nice to meet you. I'm Chip.
Nice
So
to
how
meet
do you
you.
feel about animal exploitation?
I was curious to hear your point first. See if we can establish some
Sure.
definitions.
So there is
some,
no morally
critical
significant
points.
difference between a human being and an animal that justifies the difference in treatment. Do you
Exactly.
understand what that means?
I understand what you mean. For
Do you agree with this?
That's a hard question. What is the difference in morality? You know.
No, I
So
didn't
yeah,
say.
do-
I
do
said
you
there's.
see,
If, I said if you value humans, the only reason why you value humans should be the same reason why you value animals, because of their sentience.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is no because intelligence is not a reason to justify humans over animals, because you wouldn't kill humans who have the cognitive abilities. Or
Yeah,
the
someone in a
symptoms.
coma, for example, you
Yeah.
wouldn't kill them, right?
Exactly.
So is the intellectual complexity of an animal, does it define its moral worth to you?
No.
So for example,
No,
are
it's
you
just
okay with
sentience.
eating insects?
No.
And you are okay with eating plants?
Yeah.
Like avocados?
Yeah, because they're not sentient.
Okay, and so how many mice die for your avocados?
Considerably less than they die for animal products, because most of the crops that we grow, if you're talking about crop deaths, most of the crops that we grow are to feed the animals. Therefore, any crop deaths that happen are multiplied when you consume animal products.
Well, for example, if you take lentils, avocados, soy products,
Yeah, they have a much
to
less environmental
destroy-
footprint.
Could you let me finish
Yeah.
my point? They have to destroy big pieces of land, for example.
Way less
in
than
the-
animal products,
Could you
yes.
let me finish my point?
No, because you're saying
You're
completely
not gonna let me-
pseudoscientific. No,
it's
because when
kinda
you're saying
pointless if I cannot finish a
sure, but
sentence
when you're
with
going to
you,
be
right?
saying
Are
pseudoscientific
you not
stuff,
gonna
I'm
let me
gonna
finish?
not when you're saying pseudoscientific stuff. So when you're going to be saying pseudoscientific stuff,
what
I'm
is
going to
pseu-
interrupt
what is
you.
pseudoscientific?
Well,
what
your
I said?
pseudoscientific claim is that by consuming plant-based products, you actually use more land
Did I
than by
say that?
consuming animal products.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, then say
I
your
asked how many are killed. So
less
you-
than for animal products.
Okay, so eating a vegan diet is not killing animals; it's killing less.
It's not exploiting animals.
So you kill less.
Yeah, but you
So you
don't
still-
exploit anybody.
You don't exploit them
Yeah,
by going
veganism
into
is
their...
a rejection of animal exploitation because there is no morally significant difference between a human being and an animal that
Yeah.
justifies the difference in treatment.
All right.
There is no perfect life, there is no perfect diet, there is no perfect lifestyle. Veganism is not a diet, it's a moral principle of rejecting animal exploitation.
Right. So if I get this right, when you have a bunch of mice, rodents, birds, whatever, they live on a piece of land,
Yeah.
and it's not touched by humans.
Sure.
And then humans come in with bulldozers, excavating.
room for
Can
farming
you let
animals,
me finish
yeah.
one point? I let you finish every time, right?
I've heard them all so many times, man.
So that means you don't want to hear my point.
No, because I already know what it is. I really am not interested in hearing it again. But if you want to say
You're
it,
not
go ahead,
interested
say it.
in hearing my point. You see,
No, because
there
it's
we
not
go.
really a point that I have not heard before.
So if you heard it before, I cannot bring it up.
You can bring it up, but are you interested in the debunking that I'm? If you,
Yeah, I'm
if you want to make
interested.
this point, are you interested in me actually debunking your point, or you're just interested in saying your point? Because I
Yeah.
know what point you're about to say, therefore I can
and
also
then-
respond
and-
to your point.
And then you let me make my point,
Make your
and then
point.
you respond to it.
Make
okay?
your point.
Are you actually able to do that?
Make your point. I've said
Okay.
it 3 times already.
Yeah. So you go in with the excavators, with the bulldozers. It's not touched by
Sure.
humans before.
Sure.
You kill all the mice, all the birds,
plants, all of them.
everything what's in there,
In
and then you make your agriculture,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So the total weight of animals killed might be less, but
Yeah.
every individual brain, there might be a lot of fucking mice in there that you're gonna kill.
Asha,
Is that
okay.
not exploiting or hurting the animal?
It's not exploiting them. It is hurting them.
It is hurting them. So it is okay to hurt them.
No, it's not. Okay, now can I debunk
Yeah,
your
of
argument?
course, because I let you speak as well,
So let's
right?
imagine that, as you said, we have a unit of land. Let's call it 1 unit of land,
Let's
right?
call it 1
and we
unit.
bulldoze that, right?
Yeah.
And let's say that for that unit of land, we would grow plants, okay? On that land, if
Yeah.
we grow plants only, let's imagine that we only get 1,000 calories. So for 1,000 calories of that land, we would be killing 100 animals, let's say. Yet again, just throwing out numbers
Sure,
out there, okay?
I'll rock with your
1,000
numbers,
calories,
yeah.
100 animals. If on that land we wanted to grow animals, however, we would be getting considerably less calories, and we would be killing more animals in the process.
Right.
You understand that?
Right. I do understand that.
Okay.
So basically, I can agree with your notion that if
Well,
you
maybe
eat
the same animals, but we couldn't be killing more animals. We would be
Right.
exploiting another animal, but
Yeah.
killing the same amount of animals and getting less calories in the process. Yeah.
Okay, so I agree with your notion. I don't know the facts or the stats about if you harvest soy.
I can explain to you why.
Can I finish my point? I'll let you talk for a while.
Jesus Christ, just make your point. I'll interrupt you in the meanwhile. Stop being so what do you call it?
Calm
So
down, bro.
butthurt
Calm
about
down.
stuff.
I'm
just
not butthurt.
just make a point.
Yeah, try to
Make
make
a
a point,
point,
and
okay.
every time you interrupt me.
Yeah, because your points are ridiculous. Go on.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
That sounds like a guy's losing
They're
a
the
debate.
they're the
Did
same
I-
point. They're the same points that every person who listens to Joe Rogan and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if you're listening to Joe Rogan right
Of
now.
course I listen to Joe Rogan.
Oh, yes, I knew
Oh,
it.
you got it. Let's go, man.
No, thank you. Joe Rogan is
Oh,
pretty
right.
much the
Right.
most dangerous person on this planet because the
Yeah.
pseudoscience that he spews is
Right.
ridiculously bad. He's misogynistic.
Okay.
Are you misogynistic also?
Define misogyny.
Oh, do you think women should have equal rights and opportunities to men?
Of course.
Of course. Okay. Do you think it's okay to oppress? Do you think it's okay to take the reproduction rights away from women?
Explain, what do you mean by taking the
Are you
rights away?
pro-abortion or pro-forced pregnancy?
What is forced pregnancy?
Forced pregnancy is when a woman doesn't want to take the pregnancy to term, but somebody is forcing them because they don't allow them to have the medical procedure of
Yeah.
terminating the pregnancy.
You know, I would like to go into that with you too, but I think we're kind of straying. But
I just tried to see where your values
Yeah,
are
we
because it's
can,
pretty clear
we
that you
can
don't
park
respect
it, we
any
can-
other individuals other than yourself or your own
Oh,
group of
that's
individuals.
really, that's what you get from me.
That's what I get, yes.
So I ask you, how many mice die when you farm lentils? And then you say you as a person don't care about any individual.
Did you understand my debunking of the argument?
Why did you say that I don't care about any individual?
Did you understand my debunking of
that's
the
kind
argument?
That's kind of a weird stretch to make.
Sure, because
like a
because
guy
I'm
asks
sure
you
because
how
I'm
many
sure that
mice,
you're pro
how
forced
many
abortion,
mice
that's
die
why.
from soy farming?
Because I'm sure that you're
and then
pro
you
forced
say,
abortion. That's why.
I'm not. I have a very nuanced
Sorry,
stance on abortion.
not pro forced pregnancy. I'm sure you're pro forced pregnancy.
I have a very nuanced point on abortion.
What's your
actually.
nuance point?
I think that here in the Netherlands, we allow it to go till too late in the pregnancy stage, where I personally think that it's too developed to kill. But I wouldn't be on the religious side that says as soon as a sperm hits an egg, it's a human life, you cannot kill it. So I have more of a nuanced view. For
Why?
example,
Why is it wrong after a
I
time?
think
After a certain time?
after the amount of weeks here in the Netherlands when a baby is formed, it can already recognize the voice of the mother. It has a heartbeat, brain waves. For me, that's a point where I would say this is too much of a life for me
So
to
is it when
kill.
they're sentient?
Well, yeah, I would say that is sentience. Yeah.
Okay, so if you value sentience, then don't you think you should value sentience also when it comes to choosing to exploit or not innocent animals? If you can choose to exploit or not a sentient being for an optional product, why
Yeah.
would you choose to exploit a sentient
It's
being for an
It's
optional
never
product?
good to exploit a sentient being, right?
So why do that?
Okay,
Like
so-
I understand we get
yeah.
heated over this, but you realize
I'm
that
not
every
heated.
time
You're putting
Sure, I'm
words in
heated.
my mouth.
It's okay, I'm heated. That's fine.
You're
like,
putting
I
words
understand
in
that
my
I
mouth,
got
right?
heated, but let me ask you this.
I'm not heated, man. Like,
I said I'm heated. Okay.
yeah, you said we got heated.
Okay, so then I corrected and I said I'm heated.
Okay,
Okay, I
you're
understand that I got heated. Okay, now let me ask you this: is it fair when you have the option between exploiting an innocent sentient being or not exploiting an innocent sentient being? Let's say that the
Okay.
crop that's behind them are
Yeah.
equal, although the crop that's in the matter of exploitation are
Right.
more. Then, which one would you say is morally correct? The one where you exploit and slaughter more, or the one where you don't exploit and slaughter less?
You don't exploit and slaughter less. So you've
So
boiled.
plant-based diet.
So you have boiled down veganism not to someone who eats meat, abuses and destroys animals, and a vegan.
Veganism is not a diet.
Can you
I've
let me
explained.
finish my point, bro?
Sure.
Like I let you go on for a long
You talk
time.
about the diet. I never mentioned the diet. I didn't say veganism is a diet. I explained to you that it's a moral principle of
But
rejecting
you
animal
keep
exploitation.
interrupting me, right?
Yeah, I will keep doing that, as I told you.
Is that your way of debating?
No, is that my way of debating you?
And why is that?
Because
Me specifically.
because when you say things that need interruption, because you say things where
I have heard plenty of things.
300 people are watching, I need to
Yeah.
be sure.
Hello, guys.
I need to
It's
be
good, man.
sure that all those 300 people don't hear pseudoscientific nonsense, because some of them are only here for a couple of seconds, and I don't want them to be here to hear some nonsense and then move on. Like you heard the nonsense about how we kill mice, rodents, and all this stuff. You heard it from somewhere, and
Is
then
that not
you,
true?
you use that as it's actually
What shot you signed?
it's actually not true. No. It is actually not true, no, because the reality,
true.
no,
There are no mice being killed.
no,
for
they're not. The reality
No?
is, no, let me explain to you. The reality is that in plant agriculture,
Yeah.
first of all, they set the blades high up. They don't really kill almost any individual. And second, when they hear the concubine coming, they leave.
Yeah,
They don't kill
There
them.
is. I'm gonna agree with you that there's plenty of small animals that will get away from the
Yeah.
excavator machines.
Sure.
But a lot are gonna die. Are you gonna say that none are gonna die?
Some will die, unfortunately. I don't like it that
No,
happens.
I don't
but
like
it's,
it either. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not nice.
So how does any of this morally justify choosing to oppress or to exploit innocent sentient beings?
So, for example, I'm gonna go on another detour here. Veganism has boiled down to someone who eats meat, right?
No.
Can you let me finish one point?
You said right, and I said no. Wait, when you
what,
when you
what
asked
did
the
I say?
question-
That, what did I say?
You said veganism has boiled down to eating meat, right? And I said no.
No. That's not what I say. That's why you have to let me finish
That's
a
exactly what you
single
said.
sentence.
Is that not what he said?
Shall I repeat myself again?
Sure.
Veganism at this point boils down to you have someone who eats meat here and someone who doesn't eat meat or any animal products here, right? And the claim now is that the meat eater kills and exploits animals, but the person that's vegan does it as well, but less. So you're also exploiting animals. The battery that you're using for your stream right now, the radiation of the lithium was tested on thousands of animals to see if it was EMA certified to be used in your battery. So why is it okay for you to use a battery like that?
Oh, can I answer?
There's a
Because you
lot
keep
of
asking
animal-
questions, and I don't know when I should answer. Because
Yeah, now
when
you-
you said right, I didn't know. You said I'm interrupting you, but
You can
I
answer
thought
my
that was a
question.
question.
You're
okay.
very okay
You,
to
you
answer my
sometimes you
question.
sometimes ask questions in the middle of your
Yeah.
statement, and then I don't know if I should answer those questions or you just ask questions to the universe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, no, veganism is not that. Veganism is a moral principle of rejecting animal exploitation. Do you understand what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go through it. What does rejecting animal exploitation mean?
What does rejecting animal exploitation mean?
Yeah. What does exploitation mean?
Exploitation.
Since you accuse me of paying for animal exploitation, surely
Mm-hmm.
you should know what exploitation means.
Exploitation would be to take a being and against its will kill it or use it for your own gain, against its will, basically. So basically,
It means unfair usage.
yeah, I would agree with your definition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, do you understand what rejecting animal exploitation as much as possible and practical? There's also that argument towards veganism.
Yeah.
What that means?
Yeah, so you're claiming then that the vegan lifestyle, as you call it, exploits
Moral
less.
principle.
The moral principle, there you go, exploits less animals, but you're still
No,
exploiting
no, no. You
animals,
don't
right?
exploiting animals because you're,
You're
not,
not.
unfairly using them. No. The animals
No?
that you kill in the production of, let's say,
Is it-
crops, battery, or whatever else,
Yeah.
you do them not because, like, first of all, I reject testing on animals. If I don't need to buy products that are tested on animals, I will not buy them. Those are not
Battery,
tested on animals.
microphone,
I actually
clothing.
checked. They're not tested on animals.
Every battery
That's
has.
not true.
Yeah, it's true.
What does every battery have?
Every battery that's accepted into the market has to be tested on
How?
radiation. They use mice in proximity to the batteries, any kind of batteries, to test if the radiation levels exceed the legal amount. Every battery there is right now is being tested on animals to see if the radiation will fuck them up too
Well,
much.
thank you for telling me this. I didn't know. Next time I will no longer buy a battery. There you go.
Okay.
This is how
You
a
won't?
conversation goes, right?
I'm sure you will
You
use the
show
battery,
me
and
you
that's
show
fine.
me a principle that
Yeah.
that you are doing something is wrong, and I say, okay, I will change. Thank you for explaining that to
You
me.
will change
and I
that.
will look. Yeah, of course I will change
But
that
I don't
because
think
I'm a
that's
rational
possible,
person.
and I wouldn't expect you to because
Doesn't
it's
ma-
almost impossible to avoid. So I'm not going to.
So there you go. So there you go. When I say as much as it's possible and practicable,
Yeah.
right? So rejecting animal exploitation as much as possible and
Exactly.
practicable.
Yeah.
So please explain to me that, do you think you can reject animal exploitation as much as possible and practicable by not consuming animal products, not buying products that test on animals, all of this?
Yeah.
If you're faced with a situation where you have to buy a product that exploits animals or a product that doesn't, why would you choose the one that exploits an animal?
So I think the point in the conversation we have reached now is we have agreed that you have a
Veganism is not perfect. I never said it is.
Yeah, okay. So we have reached the spectrum now.
No.
What was I gonna say?
That we have reached a spectrum of how many animals to exploit or not. And I reject that idea. I said as much as it's possible and practical.
That is what I mean with a spectrum, as
Sure.
much as
Okay,
possible.
fair.
So I say
Fair.
word spectrum, you're like, no.
Fine. Okay, let's go with spectrum. Sure.
Like,
Okay,
I
let's
like
go with spectrum.
when I listen to you, I let you finish all your points, and
But
I
you don't
say
actually
the word
listen.
spectrum, and you just like, no.
No,
like,
listen.
let's have a real conversation.
You don't
man to
interrupt
man.
me. You don't interrupt me, but you don't listen. I interrupt you, but I listen. That's
I
the
listen
difference.
very well to you.
Sure. So
what
what
did
is
I not
veganism?
listen to you? Veganism for you is
Not for me. What is veganism?
So your definition is for everyone. I'm
yes,
just
that's
saying
that's
what you
that's how
said.
veganism was defined.
Oh,
yes.
for you, it's a moral principle of exploiting as less animals as
No,
possible.
that's not what I said.
Then explain again to
Of
me.
rejecting animal exploitation as much as it's possible and practicable.
I thought that's pretty much what I said, but let's
Sure.
rock with it from now on, that
Sure.
definition. So again, back to my point, you say as much as possible, right?
And practicable.
And practicable. So that's the spectrum we've laid out there. And me as a meat eater, I'm probably around here on the spectrum. And you as a vegan who still uses all this tech and plant products that kill, you're here on the spectrum.
Wait, what does the
Right.
spectrum measure?
So as much as possible.
Yeah,
and
what is
practicable,
what
right?
is on the left side of the spectrum? What is on the right side of the
Exactly.
spectrum?
So the left side would probably be you get a piece of land and you pick very carefully everything out of it.
What is the
Can I-
it's a
can I-
spectrum. You have to
Yeah.
measure a value for that spectrum.
Can I
What is that
explain my
value?
point when you ask me the spectrum? Can I then explain and then you maybe interject after that?
That's what I'm trying to understand. Yes.
Okay, so let me back up again. You asked me what is the spectrum, what's on this side,
Please
what's
stop being so butthurt and actually respond
I'm
to
not
some questions.
butthurt. You ask me a question.
You are very
I
much
start
so.
to explain.
Every time I interrupt, you're like, "Can I please have a point?"
Wow, you are really butthurt.
Can I
like,
please
you're
have
using
a point?
voices to intimate me like
I always use voices, by the way. but
Okay,
thank
that's
you. You
cool,
probably
man.
don't know me, but yeah.
So should I answer your question what the
Sure.
spectrum is?
Sure.
On this side of the spectrum, you would have a person who gets a little piece of land, carefully picks out all the crops and things he doesn't need, makes sure that the animals that are in there he doesn't grind them up or whatever, carefully plants some products, enough for them to sustain and eat them and live their life like that, and doesn't use any products that are animal tested. That's not very practicable, so that's all the way on this side. You're like minimizing exploitation as much as possible. And then on this
So that's
side,
veganism.
yeah, like the perfect vegan that would be, right?
That
The
would be
one-
vegan,
yeah.
as much as possible and
Exactly.
practicable. That's vegan. Yeah.
And
Okay.
then on this side, you maybe have a meat eater like me. I eat like a kilo of
So
meat
I'm on this
every
side
day.
where it's vegan, and you're on the side where it's meat eater. Yes.
Well, if this is the guy that carefully picks out everything and also doesn't use a battery, and I am here, then where are you?
I thought you said it's impracticable to not use a battery, and you said on this
Yeah.
side it's possible and practicable, right? As much as possible and practicable. That's what being vegan is.
Yeah, but what is as much as possible and practical? Because it's possible, right, to what I explained, pick out all the little things in a little field and eat that for the rest
Is it
of your life.
possible, really?
Is it not?
No.
Why is it not possible?
Because first of all, I don't have the financial means to buy a land myself to do agriculture as I want to. I find the
Being a
fact
very
that,
small piece.
well, I don't have money for that. I'm not sorry to tell you, but like it's not possible and practical for everybody.
No,
Okay?
I agree. Not for everybody,
okay,
but there is a hypothetical
so
person,
for
right?
myself, as the person within my capabilities, I will reject animal exploitation as much as I can. That's why when you brought to
Exactly.
me that battery idea, as I
Yeah.
said, I will no longer buy a battery in the future. Just like my phone is 5
Yeah.
years old, and because of that, I no longer bought a phone. And when I will
Yeah.
buy a phone, I will buy a second-hand phone. When I will buy a battery, I will buy a second-hand battery because I
Yeah.
don't longer want to create exploitation in the process.
And that's good, man.
So
That's
yet
good.
again,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
on the
good.
left side and you're on the right side. Okay, and
Well, I wouldn't
you-
say you're all the way on the left side.
I don't really care about that. My question
But
is,
that's
how
my
do you
point.
morally justify oppressing animals when you don't need to? Why
Mm-hmm.
is it that you think it's justified to take the life of an innocent animal for an optional product?
Again, let me speak a few sentences without interrupting, right? Oh, there you go. Oh, so hard to talk with this
Why
guy,
is it
right?
you can't answer my question?
I am answering your question now.
So answer my question.
Okay.
How is it morally justified to oppress an animal for an optional product?
So you do the same. It's not
I said it's not
impossible.
justified.
It's not.
I just admitted it's not justified. How is it morally justified for you going forward? I don't care what you did in the past. Going forward, I will no longer buy batteries. How do you morally justify oppressing animals in the future?
I feel like you're getting angry, so let's
Because you're
both
not answering my
calm down a
question.
little
I'm not
bit.
angry.
Let's see if we
I'm just
can-
intense. I'm not angry. So how do you morally justify oppressing animals for optional products?
I don't morally justify it.
So it's not.
trying,
It's unjust.
I'm trying to explain to you that on the spectrum we just laid out, where on this
I
side.
don't care where we
can
are.
you-
I care
can you-
what.
can
No,
you
no.
let me
You need
finish
to
the
answer my
point?
question. No, you need to answer my
That is
question.
my answer of
Going
your
in the
question.
future, no, because you're talking about the past, and I say going
no, no,
forward
no,
in the
no, no,
future.
no, no,
How
okay.
do you morally justify oppressing animals for an optional product?
Okay, let me talk to you about how we do that in the future.
Okay.
Even in the future, right? You can have a spectrum. Are you able to listen to my
No,
point?
I
or is
don't
it,
care anymore. I'm
you're
sorry.
He's not able to refute.
You just don't want to have a question. And listen, I'm here defending violence towards animals.
Listen, guys, you're hearing
here.
this guy,
You're
and he
here.
doesn't want to hear any point I
Yes, I
make.
don't actually want to hear all your
And
point
he
that
gets
you made.
very angry.
This
and
is
starts
what
saying,
you're
this
defending.
guy talks like this.
This is what you're defending. This.
Uh-huh.
I'm here trying to tell you you don't need to do this, and
Yeah.
you want to inflict violence on innocent animals.
And I can pull up a picture right now of a mice with its brain being fried by the battery you bought.
Please leave me alone. I'm no longer interested in talking to you.
Can we shake hands?
No.
Or are you too butthurt?
No, I just don't want to shake hands with
This guy-
somebody who
this
wants to
guy's too
continue
butthurt
oppressing
for you to
animals.
shake a
Sure,
hand, guys.
sure. I'm too butthurt
Yeah.
to respect somebody who wants to inflict violence on defenseless
And so do
creatures.
you with your
If somebody would be cutting the throat of a dog, I wouldn't go there and say, "Hey, bravo!"
Do you think I would?
Oh, you would. You would definitely.
You think?
Yeah.
Because that's not true. I
Oh,
would never hurt a
oh,
dog.
then you're such a hypocrite because you wouldn't hurt a dog, but you hurt a cow.
So you say that if I eat a cow, I should then hurt all animals. Otherwise, I'm a
What is the
hypocrite.
morally significant difference between a cow and a dog that justifies the difference in treatment?
What is the morally significant difference between not eating a meat but buying a battery?
Well, I just said what I did was wrong, did I not?
But are you gonna stop using a battery? I don't
No,
think it's
I'm not
possible,
gonna
right?
no
So-
longer gonna buy a battery.
Yeah.
So I'm no longer gonna justify oppression.
Yeah.
So how do you morally justify oppression going forward?
So how do you morally justify that
I
you
can't.
bought a
It was
battery?
unjust. As I said, it was unjust.
So if I follow
So
your
I'm
channel,
no longer gonna buy a battery.
if I
Yes. So
follow
how
your
do you
channel,
morally
you're
justify?
gonna quit your channel now.
No,
because you
because-
need technology to keep your channel running.
I don't need to buy new technology. I can use the technology that I have. You
Is
realize
it never
that?
gonna break your battery?
No.
Never.
No. And
Your
even
battery
if it
is
is,
never gonna break.
who cares? I don't need a
And
new
they-
battery. I can buy a battery secondhand, as I said. How do you morally justify oppressing animals for an optional product?
The same way you did it when you bought the battery, bro.
Well, I said
just-
it's
I just
unjust.
have less-
I said it's unjust.
I just have less
I said
of a
it's
barrier
unjust.
because I'm willing to
I
eat
said it's
so
unjust.
much meat. So
I said it's unjust.
Right. and still
Is
you
it
do it.
unjust what you do?
Yeah, we could agree it's unjust.
So
but
it's
like,
unjust what you do.
Yeah, I would
So why
agree,
continue
yeah.
doing something that's unjust?
Because we're humans and we are on top of the food chain.
Yeah,
in
sure.
the same way-
So power
and this-
justifies oppression. We're on top of the food chain. We have power over animals.
Same
Therefore,
way
it's
every
justified.
apex predator does it, man.
Yeah, sure.
And the
Because
same
you're an
way-
apex
and the
predator,
same- and the
aren't you?
same way-
You go into a supermarket. Oh, I'm an apex predator. I go
Yeah.
into a supermarket.
Yeah, right. So I see that you're getting very offended and aggressive.
No, I'm not
like-
offended or aggressive. I'm just not interested in having a conversation with somebody who thinks who morally justifies oppressing animals based on the fact that they're born a species that you don't respect.
What it boils down to is I just have less of a threshold for the oppression than you. Because you still are.
It's not.
You are still
As I
willing
said,
to
I will
hurt
no
animals.
longer. Nope. I said I will no longer hurt animals. I will never buy a battery again, as I said.
You're not gonna eat any soy product, any avocado, because whatever
It's not
you
about
eat,
being
an
perfect,
animal-
man. It's not about being
Exactly.
perfect.
So the
It's
only
about
difference
choosing. No,
between you and
it's
me-
about. It's like saying, well, if I punch a person on the street, then I'm the same as you, right? Because I'm not perfect. So might as well, right? Every once in a while, I'm gonna punch a person on the street because what? You cause some violence somewhere down the line. Therefore, it's justified for me to be violent to some people, right?
It depends. If it's self-defense, you can attack
Not
a
self-defense. Yet again, the same actual cause as you do it because you get pleasure from it. If I go and punch people on the street because I get pleasure from it, how is that justified? It's exactly the same thing as you do, correct?
Why would you want to punch someone on the street?
Why would you want to cut the throat of innocent cows?
Because it feeds me and it gives me
because
a healthy
because you
diet.
like the taste of their flesh.
I like the taste and it's also
Yeah,
very
so there
healthy.
you go. I like the way my fist feels on somebody's face. It's the same
And
thing.
does it give you a more healthy life?
It gives you the. Oh, do you think eating cows gives you a healthy life?
Yeah, man.
Red meat is carcinogenic.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make it healthier?
Well, you
How
have to
about the prevalence of the
you
fact that
spit
it?
on me, bro.
Sorry. How about the fact that it increases LDL cholesterol, which increases your chances of heart disease?
Yeah,
Does that
so-
make it healthier?
So, for example, it's a good.
How
point
about
you-
the fact
it's
that
a good
it-
point you're
that-
raising here?
Yeah.
And I agree that vegan diet is very possible to pull off in a healthy way, but it takes a lot of money and planning. And
No, it doesn't. And
and
we
a lot
actually
of
have
people
studies
are
that in
not
Western
able to-
Europe,
it's very
we actually have
privileged to be
studies
able to be
against
vegan,
that.
you know?
We actually have studies against that. It is actually 30% cheaper, and I can attest to that because, by the way, I don't have a job right now, and I actually live on less money than I did
Right.
before.
Yeah.
And inflation has gone up. So there you go. What you're saying is actually not true. That's why I keep interrupting you, because you keep saying nonsensical things that are pseudoscientific. But that might be, maybe you get them from Joe Rogan or somewhere. I don't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
care where you get them. It's just that they're pseudoscientific. And maybe when you want to align your values with your actions and want to actually listen to what science says, we can thrive on a plant-based diet. I'm actually a certified nutritionist myself.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can
yeah.
thrive on a plant-based diet. You don't need to be oppressing animals. And if you think it's wrong to cut the throat of a dog for an optional product, then it's wrong to cut the throat of a cow for an optional product. Because
Yeah,
you know what?
it's a
From their
spectrum.
perspective, it's the same thing. A cow
Yeah.
didn't choose to be born a cow. A dog didn't choose to be born a dog.
Yeah.
Yet you seem to think you're born a cow. You're born a cow.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'll cut your throat. You're
Exactly.
born a dog. No, how dare you? You deserve protection. That's
Exactly.
hypocritical.
All right. So if you point out my hypocrisy, I'm gonna do the same with most of the clothes you wear.
Nope.
With the battery.
Actually,
you buy,
no, the clothes you're dead wrong.
And okay, I'll take that back. Maybe I don't know what exact
There
clothes
you
you
go.
wear, but going back to the battery.
And as I said, I will never do it again.
But is your battery gonna die at some point?
Maybe it will.
You are gonna agree with that?
And I'll buy a second-hand battery. How does that participate in oppression?
Because it was already produced.
Yeah.
So if a
So
cow,
I- so I don't
if
create
a cow
more demand
is,
for
if
it.
a cow is already killed and I buy it, that's
Yeah,
already
if you
also
want to
already
if you
killed,
want to
right?
eat dead animals, it's okay. My problem
Yeah.
is isn't with dead animals. My problem is with bringing to life sentient beings to exploit and kill them. When you
Yeah.
buy an animal product, you create demand for it. Do you acknowledge that?
Of course, yeah.
If
So-
I buy
so
if
do
you
when
buy if you buy
secondhand-
second-hand meat, do you think you create that? If you think if you go down the street,
Secondhand meat,
yeah,
yeah.
if an animal dies by this car hits a dog right now, and you want to eat their flesh, do you think I have a problem with that?
I would not.
I
like
wouldn't
to
have a
eat
problem
dogs.
with that. The problem
And I
is
would
the
not
exploitation
ever
that
hurt
these
a
animals
dog or a
suffer.
cat or any animal that I have no
No.
interest in eating.
No,
You
be-
said to me earlier in the debate, you said you're the type of guy.
I didn't even want to debate you, dude. I wanted to have a conversation with you. You came in here trying to debate something that isn't even debatable because you have no argument against it. At the end of the day, your argument boils down to every single day you make a choice between oppressing an animal or not. And you're saying, I want to oppress an animal, therefore it's justified. Why? Because we're top of the food chain. Why? Because might makes right. Why? Well, that would justify, if you say that might makes right, that could justify slavery. That could justify oppression of women. That could justify oppression of,
Oh, yeah.
of other races, other genders, anything. Because you know what? At the end of the day,
So I'm
if
gonna
you think,
oppress women because I eat meat.
well,
That's
no,
such a
no,
stretch,
just
bro.
your
Like-
mentality is the same as theirs. Make no mistake,
As
because
whose? As
as a sexist person, you have the same
So I'm a
mentality.
sexist?
You have the same
Am I
mentality.
sexist?
No,
Are
because
you calling me sexist?
no,
Right fucking now.
no, because you have the
Okay,
same
so take
mentality
that
as
back
them.
then.
Let me explain why you have the same mentality as them, okay? Because a sexist will say men should be respected because men are superior to women, therefore it's okay to do whatever we want to women. That's what a sexist would say. And what are you saying? Well, we can do whatever we want to a cow because we are superior. We have a power over them. We can do whatever we want to them. You have the same mentality.
And so do you to the mice that die for your lentils, for the bees.
I'm trying.
That are,
I
for the
tried.
bees-
I tried.
For the bees that
I tried
get
to have a
for your
conversation.
avocados, for the mice
Yes.
that were radiated for your
Sure.
battery, man.
Sure.
Man, give me a handshake.
No, thank you.
No?
No.
You're too buttered to give
Yes,
a
I'm too
proper
butthurt.
handshake.
Yeah.
That says enough, man.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, man. Have a good day.
I hope you don't.
He mad. Crazy. You see?
Yeah, because I'm trying to fight for animal rights and you're trying to defend the
Say I'm a
defense.
sexist. That's what we get, guys.
I explained to you why your mentality is exactly the same as a sexist, but you didn't listen, as I said. I interrupt you, but you don't listen. Do you guys want to have a conversation with me? I mean, an actual conversation, not a debate.
But I'm underage and I don't feel comfortable in front of
That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to be. If you're underage, I wouldn't allow you to be on camera
No,
anyway. So.
exactly, I imagine.
Yeah.
I actually have one question for you though.
Sure.
Regarding your, if it's fine, I ask it here because I don't want to be in front.
You're not going to be on camera, but
No,
you
thank
so
you.
that
I'm
you
sorry. I was curious to ask you.
if if there was, do you think personally there is a way to continue to eat meat without oppressing animals and destroying them, or do you think the only way to go forwards in life is to become vegetarian or vegan, or
Well,
do you think there's a way to continue to eat meat in a healthy, non-toxic way?
I mean,
Or
if
do
you're
you
gonna
think
be
the only
eating dead
solution-
animals, I don't think there's a problem with eating dead animals if you have that.
So you're against the excessive breeding of animals
Not
just
excessive.
for
I'm
slaughter?
against the exploitation of animals.
Exactly.
So that means even one single animal, bringing them into existence to use them and kill them is
Okay.
wrong.
So, in your opinion, I'm just curious, not
Sure.
to confront or go against your morals, because I admire them. I personally don't think I have the strength that you have to follow this kind of lifestyle. But do you think that farmers, for example, who raise the cattle and raise their animals to then eat them once they have reached an age where they no longer can live and are forced to suffer,
Yeah.
do you believe that they are doing the right thing, or are they also in the wrong?
I mean, they know they're in the wrong. Because most farmers, they don't name their animals for a reason. This is the lifespan, average lifespan of farm animals.
And if they were to reach, for example, I'm gonna go on, I'm not very
Yeah.
expert, but if they were to reach 4 years and then they were, or 5 years, and then they were used, do you think that would be the correct way to, or do you think it's more effective to simply let them die and just let them be eaten there for other animals to eat? Just curious, not
Sure.
to
What answer do you want me to explain to you? Because I can explain to you why I think there still is a way to see that as wrong, but I can also explain to you that if you were to be eating dead animals, I wouldn't have an issue with it. I wouldn't
just want to
be here
understand
on the
if you
street telling
think-
people to not do that.
I just want to understand if you think there is a possible way to eat animals without having the guilty conscience, the wrong morality, being on the wrong morality scale. So you think the best way to avoid having this stress is to eat animals who have already deceased?
What about humans? Do you think there's a way to eat humans where you don't feel guilty? Like replace the animal with a human being and ask yourself the same question.
No, my question is different because I don't directly mean I want to kill a human when it's 50, so it's halfway through its life. Theoretically, of course, I don't have exact numbers. But if an animal was to reach the end of its life, we humans do this thing which I don't know if it's correct or wrong, but it's tradition where we place the human in a casket and then we put it underground.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that human could be used
To be
for
eaten.
donors. We could use their blood for donors. We could use their organs. Their body could become fertilizer. So I think personally, it's a bit stupid to put them in caskets. But
But
I
we
wouldn't
respect
be
their
able-
will, right?
Exactly, but I wouldn't be able to eat them personally. But it's like I can't even eat horses. But it's mental rather than anything else. Like
Can I ask you? Sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting you there. Can I ask you? What would you say in case of a human being who doesn't express what they want to happen to their body when they die? Do you think we should be allowed to take their organs, or do you think we should
I
assume
think-
that they don't want it?
I think it's a completely personal decision, and if they don't express it, it goes on to next of kin. I don't think it's correct.
But let's say they don't have any next of kin.
I would say to follow traditions. I personally know that once I
So
reach,
you would respect, you would assume that they don't want to.
I would assume they don't want to. I know that I personally, once I reach the correct age, I will sign up to become an organ donor and
I'm
a blood
also an
donor.
organ donor, so I get it.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I admire people who do it. My whole family's been doing it for generations. So
Yeah.
I appreciate everything that they've been doing for everyone, and I know I would become a part of it. But I can't argue against those who don't want to do it because, objectively speaking, maybe you don't want your body to be used in such a way. But at the same time, maybe there are some people who are desperate or enjoy it that would prefer to be eaten. And I think once you reach the end of your life, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with humans being eaten once they reach the end of their life. So I'm asking you, if an animal was to reach the end of their life and then be eaten, would that be morally justifiable, or do you think it's against their very nature because they didn't have the will to decide to be eaten?
Sure. So I would say it's about consent, right? As you say, in the sense of a human being, when a human being consents, has informed consent, right? Because you can't have informed consent because you're not,
Of course, of age.
Yeah. So if a human being gives informed consent that they want their body to be donated to science, eaten, or whatever else wants to happen after their death, we can do whatever they said they gave consent for, right? Which I
Okay.
agree, and that's okay. If they don't give consent, this is where the opinion matters, right?
How would
In
you
my
retrieve,
opinion, if
of
they
course?
don't give consent, I believe that we should respect their body and not do anything to them.
Okay.
Because I don't know, maybe somebody who's anti-science doesn't want their body given to
Of
science,
course.
right? Or something like that. Or maybe I wouldn't want my organs to go to a racist, or, or something like that. I don't even know. I don't personally share that view, but who knows?
But of course, everyone has. Okay.
Exactly. So if there's no consent, then I think we should respect their body. The problem is
How
with
would
animals.
you retrieve
We
informed
cannot get
consent
consent,
from
yeah.
animals?
So because we cannot get consent, I would say in the case of animals, there still is this morally, ambiguous area where if an animal died and you eat their flesh, you're still kind of objectifying them, seeing like an object, and you are not respecting any form of consent that they never gave. That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
But it's okay. Thank you. But I wouldn't, like, if people would do that, I wouldn't be around on the street telling people not to do that.
So you
Because I
think,
understand that's a matter of opinion more than anything.
You think that if the evolution of the way to eat meat would be going towards increasing their lifespan, decreasing all the toxins and the chemicals put in their bodies, and just letting them live their life until the end, and then to eat them, it would be all right?
So then the question becomes, then the immoral part is bringing them to life to eat them.
But I personally believe, then of course I don't have any statistics, so I'm just going off
Yeah.
an opinion. If you're bringing them to life till the end to live their life, and then once they have lived their life in whichever way they thought possible, you then use their bodies to nurture yourself, because in the end I feel like animals, like even other animals such as wolves or bears, do the same thing. They go for the weaklings, which are usually the elder ones.
But we should not breed them, because I think it's a violation of somebody's right for us to choose to breed them. And when we do it for our benefit and not for their benefit or in their interest, when we bring somebody to life for our interest, I think it's wrong.
And how would you distinguish between bringing them to life for our benefit and for their benefit? Because in the end,
Well, that's up to you. Like when you say I wanna have an animal, right? Let's say you bring to life an animal, and you say because I want to take care of them, I would say then it's in their interest.
I mean, in
if
the
when
end, I
that
feel-
animal
yeah.
dies, you want to eat them, I don't think there's
feel
a
in
problem
the end,
necessarily there. But
if I take
if you
a
bring
dog,
them,
yeah.
just to be clear,
Of course,
if you
yeah.
bring them to life to eat them, as you said, at the end of their life, you give them a good life, then there's a possibility that you may not eat them at the end of that life, right? There's a possibility that maybe they get some form of disease or something that you can no longer eat their flesh or something.
Well,
So
then that would be a separate topic. But if, for example, I have a dog, I have cats, I have a million animals at
Yeah.
home, so I know what it's like to be emotionally attached to animals, and I hope, I don't know, but I hope I'm giving them a life that they love.
Yeah.
If I were to give, I don't know, chicken, I don't know, just random animals, a goat or whatever, an equal life, the same amount of respect, the same amount of opportunities, and opportunities is a bit weird to say for animals, but in the sense of you get it. Do you feel that if I were to give them the same opportunities and everything, and then at the end of their life, if they're still in perfect health, eat them, would that be morally unjust? Or is that reaching a
if you
point
don't
where-
bring them to life for you to use them,
No,
then
I
yes.
bring them to life for their life,
Yeah.
for their joy, and then
I don't think I'd have an issue with that.
Okay, and
but
are
are you
you-
going to do that with your cats and your dogs?
personally, no, but because it's not my decision. If it were my decision, I don't know what I would do. Probably unlikely, but it's all due to traditions. In my family, we don't eat cats and dogs, so we had chickens and we ate the chickens, and despite the emotional attachment, we had our friends had pigs, and we were also attached to pigs. And in the end, we did eat them once they reached the end of their life.
I don't think they reach the end of their life because pigs can live 20 years or something.
20 years?
Yeah.
I don't know. I met him when he was 18, the pig. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they reach the end of their life or not.
Let me put it this way: regardless of species, an individual, somebody who is sentient, regardless of their species, whether they're human or animal, we should treat them the same. Because even if they cannot communicate with us or consent to us because they cannot communicate to us, they still can understand the concept of consent, or they still understand what they want to be done with their body. They still respect their life, and they still value their body and their life as much as we value our body and our life.
Okay.
So we should be, as long as you would apply the same logic to a human, to a dog, to a cat, to a pig, to a chicken, and I don't think there's necessarily an issue, right? Because this otherwise it's a form of discrimination. You're saying, well, you were born a different species, therefore it's okay to do this to you.
Okay. Okay. I have one last question for
Sure.
you.
Then I have one.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you believe that the only option is to become vegan, or it's vegetarian on in between that is also accepted? Okay, I'm Italian, sorry, so I have the chef. Do you believe that if I were to eat the derivatives, so eggs and milk and cheese and everything, I would still be abusing of the animals, or
Sadly, they are, yeah.
They
so,
are?
so for example, for
even if I let them live till the end of their life, because their only purpose?
but let's talk about milk for a second, because milk will kind of clarify. Why do you think cows produce milk? Why do you think cows produce milk? Can you hold this for a second? I'll
course.
make sure I'm in view.
Hi everyone. Okay.
So why do you think cows produce milk?
For their offsprings?
Exactly.
Okay.
Perfect. So, do you think that they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think that farmers impregnate them?
I would say impregnate them.
Do you think that's fair?
No, but at the same time, isn't it in nature? If you were to leave the bull, I forgot the animal. Wait.
Yeah.
The bull alone with the cows, wouldn't it be natural for him to impregnate
If
them?
they do that, that's fine. But let's imagine that you do that. How many times do you think a cow would get pregnant in their lifetime?
Don't they have a shorter pregnancy? It's like 6 months or something?
No, it's 9 months, exactly the
9?
same as humans.
Okay. Once a year?
Yeah, once a year, but how many times in their lifetime?
Oh gosh. 50?
No, so a cow would...
Wait, how long do they live? 20? Oh my gosh.
Cows can
I'm
live 20
messing up
years,
the
yeah.
Ages. Sorry, I'm having twins and everything.
That's fine, that's okay. So
I
a
would
cow
say
would,
like 10 to 15
on their
times.
own will, on their own, not how many times farmers do it, how many times would they get pregnant on their own?
With a bull who is constantly around
Let's say
them?
there's a bull constantly around them, yeah.
10, 12?
3
No.
or 4 times,
Yeah,
yeah.
because they have their offspring to take care of.
Because even in dairy production, where even in the cases where they keep the bull separate and they put the bull next to the cow and they impregnate them, at some point the pregnancy no longer sticks, because like you as a female, like I'm not a female, but
Of course, yeah, no, I get it.
nobody's made to make so many babies, to be impregnated so many times. Our bodies cannot handle that. So the cow can also not handle that. So they will only be pregnant for 3 or 4 times, and then that's it. They will live there. In fact, after 8 times of being pregnant, a lot of the times these cows can no longer move. So what farmers, after the age of 8, because they impregnate them repeatedly, they usually kill them because they can no longer get them pregnant.
Okay.
So therefore, they can't get milk from them.
So,
And it's
similar
more,
to milk, you believe that if a cow were to naturally get pregnant, then there would be, like naturally, I mean, in their own course of time, then there would be a logic within milking them. Because I heard, I don't know if it's scientific or not, but I heard that cows sometimes have like the psychological pregnancies where like they have all the effects without actually having children.
no, they have to have children.
They do have, no, I heard that there was this, I don't know if it's true, but I heard, because it also happens in humans and it happens in dogs, and there's medical cases for that, where they have all the symptoms of becoming pregnant. So the breast glands become bigger,
But they don't
stomach
produce
is-
milk.
But they do
Producing
produce
milk only after they had a baby. Maybe they can inject them with hormones or something,
I
but
don't know, 'cause
naturally,
I know that humans also have these kind of things. So, and I heard that dogs have it.
maybe there's exceptions when that
Of
happens.
course,
Okay, I don't
maybe.
know that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Maybe
of
there
course.
are exceptions. But the thing is, so there's the forceful impregnation, which I oppose, right?
Yes.
So let's imagine you don't do that. Let's imagine you have a cow and a bull and they sit together, whatever. You feed them, and so you coexist. Let's imagine that they have a baby. Normally, what farmers do is they separate the baby from the mother when they're born. Do you know why they do that?
So they don't drink their milk.
Exactly. Not a lot of people know that. You're miles ahead of a lot of people. Yeah. So
Science coming to you.
exactly. So they don't drink the milk, which I also
Okay.
find unfair, right?
Fair
If they give birth to a baby, the milk is for the baby.
Okay.
If we didn't selectively bred the cows to produce that much milk, because now they also have these giant udders, which breaks their back, which is very bad for them. If we only had like cows that produce only milk, how much they produce in nature,
Yeah.
the baby drinks the milk, and then at the end of it you're left with some milk and you want to take that. I still think there's something weird about it for you to just go at the cow's titties and be like, I'm going to take the rest of your milk that you have left.
Okay,
but
so you're against
I wouldn't
also the
judge
dairy
that
bits.
necessarily.
Oh, okay.
You see, I wouldn't say, why are you doing that? Maybe you have a special relationship with that cow or something, and that cow allows you to do that or something. I don't know. It's still kind
so
of
it's
weird.
also the concept of consent, which is a bit masked also in this area.
It is a bit masked. You're right, but there's all these other things behind it, right?
Of course.
What also happens in dairy farms is that if the baby's born a male, the dairy farm cannot use them because they already have a bull. They already have enough sperm. So what do you think happens to the male?
Just get naturally killed and eaten.
They kill them, yeah. Yeah, and that's where veal comes from. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's also, if you don't do that, right? So you'll have bulls and cows, and you'll have equal, right? Because it's a 50-50%. You will notice that now when you will see dairy farms, you'll notice that most of them are women
Of course, yeah.
because the males were killed off. So, and then when they no longer produce enough milk or when they can no longer get them pregnant, they kill them. Let's imagine that you don't do that and you give them a good life all the way to the end. Would I have an issue with the tiny excess of milk that you get from there? Again, I think it's immoral.
Weird, but,
I would think it's
there's
immoral, but I
nothing-
wouldn't sit on the street and fight for it, you see?
Of course.
So, so in that regard, even if that were the case, it would cost a lot of money to make that because you would have to feed the bulls. You would have to feed. That's why they kill the babies, not because they want to, but because if they keep them alive, they have to feed them.
Of course.
In Netherlands, there's been I think 1,200 cases where they just let them starve to death.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that happening in animal agriculture. So, yeah, I think you understood the point. It's treating them like objects. I don't want them to be treated like objects because they're individuals. If you treat them like individuals and you happen to have a mutual relationship with them, and from that mutual relationship you happen to get some things from them, but you don't do it because you want to get those things, but rather because you want to look after their interests, like the same with eggs, right? If you take the eggs from them because you want to take care of them, maybe the eggs rot, maybe it's not good for them. In sanctuaries, sometimes they feed the eggs back to the chickens. If you do all that and they still have some eggs, and then you take the eggs and instead of throwing them in the trash, you want to eat them yourself, why would I judge that? I don't care.
I mean, it's your...
You do what you want. It's as long as you don't exploit them, as long as you treat them as the individuals that they are.
Okay. You have a question?
Yeah, some questions.
I'm already vegetarian, trying to go vegan, so I'm not against your ideas. But just asking about 3D printed meat. What do you think about it?
All for it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm not against eating meat. I'm against the exploitation of animals.
Yeah, okay. But they also use some cells of animals.
Sometimes they do. They use a little bit of cells from an animals. It's difficult to say. I would say it's kind of the same thing as taking the eggs at the end where the animal doesn't actually consent, but you're also not actually causing them harm, right? You're just taking a sample. Sometimes we go to the doctor and they take a sample out of us.
Yeah, of course.
So if they put a syringe, take a little bit, and then...
Do you think it's fine?
I think it's immoral, of course, if you think about it, because we are taking from them without their consent. But I wouldn't be on the street fighting against it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I would rather live in a world where we do that rather than exploit animals for how we do. Can I give you guys some cards?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Before you said that you still you have vegan vegetarians, you follow a vegetarian life vegan.
Yeah.
And you said you pay less than before.
Yeah.
But going to supermarkets, I always see that like
vegan option
yeah,
costs more.
really.
You mean like the plant-based meats,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the times we see that, and they are a bit more expensive in a lot of places. Here in Amsterdam, actually, they are not. But in a lot of places, they are more expensive. But the thing is, when you adopt a whole food plant-based diet, which is if you're going to be vegan or adopt a plant-based diet, that's what you should. It's the healthier version. You're going to be eating these products every once in a while, like an indulgence or something. So if they're a little bit more expensive, it's not going to matter because everything else is going to be way cheaper. Vegetables, beans, lentils, chickpeas, rice, pasta, tofu, tempeh, and soy chunks.
You get enough nutrients from them. Yeah.
Yeah, you get. So if you want to get more high protein, tofu, tempeh, and soy chunks, they're very high in protein, and you can get a lot of protein. The only thing you need to supplement is B12. That's the only thing that you...
Isn't that fish?
B12, yes. Fish is the only source that actually produces B12.
Okay.
Well, actually, fish don't produce it themselves. They also take it from algae. animals also don't produce very little of it, so they're generally fed a B12 supplement themselves. So in reality, if you are getting B12 these days, you're probably getting it from a supplement anyway. It's just one that was given to an animal.
Yeah, yeah.
I personally had a B12 deficiency before even going vegan.
So you had the supplements either way?
Yeah, because as a vegetarian, by the way, the
Low iron.
iron
Yeah.
and B12 is a big issue without
I
even
take both of
realizing.
them.
You take B12
Yeah, yeah.
vitamin. Yeah. So as a vegetarian, actually the absorption rate of B12 is like 6% from eggs and 12% from milk and cheese.
Yeah,
Even
but
in
I
meat, you
try
don't
to
have a lot.
reduce. Right now, I'm not using like yogurt and milk, but as soon as I leave for university, I'll go totally vegan. So.
You're awesome. It's about the animals. It's not like I
Yeah,
feel
of
like
course.
that's the whole thing about it. We were brought up in a culture where we say it's okay to do this to these animals, but not okay to do this to these other animals. We have no justification for it. Just somebody told us, and then we go on doing this violence and supporting this violence, like this guy was, and I got heated up over it.
He considered like going against you, but not about the topic, but trying to convince you that you are still hurting animals regarding the battery. So it wasn't fair
No,
discussion.
the debate was very. We were following the debate because you saw us.
Yeah, I
were
saw
up
that.
there.
I saw that. I
And
saw
it
that.
was very complicated to justify because on one hand, he had this insisting opinion that you were not listening to him and interrupting him, and he kept on rather than explaining, rather than convincing you that you were wrong, he was just trying to drag you into the wrong side with him. So there was no real debate on the actual topic. He was just rather trying to show you why you were also in the wrong. So I don't know. It wasn't very heated because there was no. I mean, it was heated, but there was no actual effective
Arguments.
argument going on.
I appreciate
But
that.
it was very funny when he started going on about apex predators. It was funny rather than insulting. you
It's
know?
always ends up to the same thing. Apex predator. I always grew up this way. It always ends up to the same
Yeah.
thing. It's just-
So it is the most common answer.
What's the
I was
most
raised on.
common argument
Yeah.
that you have encountered?
So the most common is crop. That's what he said. That animals die in crop production. It's a form of it's a bit of an ad hominem, right? Or a little bit of a red herring where you're like diverting from saying, instead of the issue is the fact that we exploit animals, is saying, well, you
that's
see,
also
you're doing a
wrong,
little bit of
okay.
bad. It's
Yeah,
wrong,
but
so you're contributing to
They're
that. So
mainly insects and they don't have a nervous system, so it's different.
plants have feelings is the next probably most common
They
one.
don't have a nervous system.
Thank you.
As insects, they don't.
Yeah, and I mean some insects do. Some insects do.
Sorry?
Some insects do.
Sorry.
Some insects do have a central nervous system.
really? I
yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah, some insects do have a central nervous system, and like for instance, bees do have a brain and a central nervous system. But
Yeah.
whatever, I go by the
I try to
precautionary.
reduce honey too.
I go by the precautionary principle. When there's somebody who is potentially sentient, I just go for like I can choose to not consume them, so I will not consume them. It's as easy.
Yeah.
Let me just give you some cards of the.
Thank you very much.
So there's you have Challenge 22 there. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day, and help you adopt a plant-based diet for free. And on top you have 2 videos. If you scan this QR code, either the minion or the most important speech you'll ever hear. Can you just promise me you'll watch one of these 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah,
I think I've seen you on Reels
Oh,
or
okay.
on TikTok.
Okay, that's good. I guess that's good.
And I really like your way of arguing. Like, how do you argue your points?
Your
and-
opinions,
yeah.
your fluency, or your.
Thank you. I mean, you seem like smart girls. I like that, and you have more of a responsibility. Smart people. You see what I deal with. You see what I deal with. Smart people. We got to make the changes because
Exactly.
otherwise, yeah, we'll always be in this situation. I
Thank you.
appreciate you. Bye.
Visit.
I like these girls a lot. There you go. We had an intense debate, and then we had these awesome girls who were actually listening to the whole debate, and we had a good conversation with them. What is the time? 4. Okay, I think I can do one more conversation. I guess Chip didn't get butthurt, as the other guy said. No, I did not get butthurt. It was actually really nice to talk to these girls. It's a pity. Well, good conversation, yeah. Sorry everybody if I got a little bit intense there with that guy. I get a bit intense. By the way, that guy lied about batteries. Yeah, I will look it up, but that's the thing. That's the thing that I wanted him to see. I obviously will look it up because I don't want to be part of that bullshit, you know? If they said they test batteries on animals, I want to fight that. That's not fair. But that's the thing about it, right? Because I was trying to make the argument, okay, so what I did was wrong. Okay, let's move on. I don't care what you did in the past. I'm not here to judge people. That's the thing that most people don't get. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to try to help you change so that you no longer oppress animals. It's insane. The flesh of an animal, typically a mammal or a bird, as food. The flesh of domestic fowls is sometimes distinguished as poultry, pieces of meat. I don't know what you meant by that. Nick, Chip, your purchase of new batteries is in the animals' interest, including lab victims. Don't stop purchases that they want to buy to save them. Of course not, but I can always buy secondhand. I don't need it. And my battery, I think this battery will last a long time. I take very good care of it. I generally think I will never buy a battery again unless I lose this one, but we'll see. I mean, I've had this battery for 3 years now, and I never get to more than 25% of its usage, so there you go. But either way, thank you so much, Nick. Thank you so much for everybody who donated. I'm sorry I couldn't see them. I will see the messages at home. I don't think I can see them now. Let me see if I can. No. Chip, must I turn vegan to understand veganism? I think in order to understand veganism, if you want to really understand it, you can watch The Minion. That's a good documentary. You can watch the 3-minute video that is in the description of this channel. Hydrate please, says Felek. Thank you, Felek. I forgot about that. You're right. I don't know, man. The thing is, it got heated up with that Canadian dude. Then this other guy was waiting there to just come and debate me or something. And I'm like, I kept interrupting him because he just kept talking extremely slowly and making the arguments that I already knew he was gonna make, even the whole spectrum bullshit. And with the spectrum bullshit, he first started by saying, well, I'm over here and you're over here, which, no, that's not true. So I don't get it. Like, his whole point was that I am not perfect, therefore veganism is not perfect. How is that a good point anyway? But I love that these 3 girls were actually listened to the whole thing and they understood that. These 3 girls actually understood more than that guy did. Martin, thank you so much, Martin. I appreciate you. Any excuse, yeah. The sad part is, everybody, that this is the I don't know what it is. Birds just like pooping. Look at this. They just pooped on my sign. Ah, you can't see it. God damn it. No, let me see if I can clean it up now. No. I don't think I have anything on me to clean it up. Isn't that good luck? Says Lynn. Lynn, I've heard that so many times that it's good luck, and birds poop on me all the time, and I seem to not be having that much good luck. I don't know what to tell you. Free protein, sure. Remember to like, sub, and comment, says Martin. I appreciate you, Martin, so much. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for everything. So this week will be, I'm going to Romania tomorrow. I'll be back on Saturday, as I said at the beginning of the stream. So this week I will sadly not stream up until Sunday again. So I want to stay a little bit longer today. Hey, you want to try a social experiment? I ask you some questions, get you to think a little bit?
I don't speak English very well.
Oh, you don't speak English very well? No. You can try, no?
German.
Okay, that's okay. Have a good day.
Okay, later.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
You too. I'm not perfect just yet. I have some dog food on hand, but I intend to completely eliminate that once I have fine-tuned and made the L recipe for efficient. I don't know what that means. I've watched the videos, so Benji, chip guy, didn't I say I need to become vegan to understand the veganism? He just directed me to watch videos I've watched. So you watched the Minion and the 3-minute video that's in the description of this stream. You watched both of them and you're asking yourself why you should be vegan? Is that what you're saying? Yes, I've been here before. So how do you feel when you watch these videos? How do you feel about the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of innocent animals for optional products? Somebody said I love it. So Fanball, I'm assuming you love exploiting and slaughtering dogs to make punching bags out of them, right? Okay, let's get one more conversation. Do you have a job? Yes, I do have a job. I'm a software engineer. When I finish this, I'm gonna get back to work. That's what I do. Farming humans is amazing, says somebody. This is his job, lol, telling people how to live. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Punching bag? Yes, it's an optional product. If I exploit and slaughter a dog to make a punching bag out of them, it's an optional product, is it not? Is it moral for me to do that? Hey, Renee. Me too. I don't really understand the arguments you guys are trying to make or to respond. Chip, come to America. I've been to America. I think I'm gonna come also at the end of this year. It's a little bit more difficult because these days everything is super expensive. Well, and I'm poor. So, you know, that mix and match well. My goddess Tofunia says the first commandment is sending humans to slaughter is okay. Exactly. You want to try a social experiment?
No, I'm good.
Go vegan, let's go. I'm on the carnivore diet, feeling great. Yeah, I'm assuming you feel great now. Wait until did you see that every single carnivore person or person who created the carnivore diet, that they're suffering now? Some of them are pre-diabetic. They started eating fruits and now they're saying you should eat honey again. You know why? Because they're suffering, because that's a very bad diet. But you know what? I'll tell you what. Don't be a carnivore. Just don't be stupid. Don't be a carnivore. Like, that's just me as a certified nutritionist telling you, giving you some free advice. Do not be a carnivore. Don't be stupid. I also think as an animal rights activist, I wouldn't be doing my duty if I wouldn't be saying that please also don't exploit innocent animals. But you know, if you're gonna do that, at least don't be stupid and don't be a carnivore. But don't do that, okay? Just don't. Don't be stupid. You can be healthy on a plant-based diet. Don't be oppressing animals for nothing. I know you were taught your whole life that this is how it should be. I know that everybody around you does it. I know that every single culture was born that way with a heavy meat diet. That does not mean it's okay, by the way. That does not mean that it's okay. You lost 50 pounds. You know why you lost 50 pounds? Because you consumed less, Mr. Lapis. The only way to lose weight is to eat less calories. So you ate less calories. Why did you eat less calories? Probably because you did not like the food. Probably because you were like, ugh, this is so not nice. Why do I have to eat this constantly? So obviously you ate less. Animals eat animals. That's another argument that people bring up so often, as if that matters. Let's just replace the word eat with another thing, right? Let's just replace the word eat with grape. Animals grape other animals. They do. Does that morally justify us graping? I just replaced that. Mr. Lapis says, I love meat. I don't think you do. That's why you lost weight. Because you ate too little. Otherwise you wouldn't lose weight. The only way to lose weight is to be in a caloric deficit. So you were in a caloric deficit. You ate considerably less. And meat is a pretty high calorie thing. So you probably ate considerably less. Because no matter how much you like it, we all know that it's kind of disgusting to just eat that. You need to eat vegetables. It's kind of, they're nice tasting, they're fresh, they give a good feeling, you know, you live healthy on them. But you know what, we can discuss this all day. But veganism is not a diet, by the way. It's a moral principle of rejecting animal exploitation. Hi. Are you okay being live on my YouTube channel?
What's the...
How old are you?
I'm 20.
You're
Almost
20.
21.
Oh, okay. You're okay to be on camera if you want. I just asked you some questions about animals.
Okay.
You want to be here? So
Sure, I'll try it out. But
What-
they're younger than me.
if they're underage, they can't consent to being on
Okay.
camera unless you want to consent for them.
No.
Okay.
If they have input, I will delegate that to the camera.
What's your name?
Mariam. Nice
Marian?
to meet you. Mariam with an M.
Mariam. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Where are you
meet
from?
too. I'm from Egypt and the US.
Egypt and the U.S. That's cool. That's cool. I like it.
You?
I'm from Romania, but I live here.
Cool.
So, Mariam, I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals. Do you think animals deserve rights?
Yes.
Do you think they deserve the right to not be enslaved by us?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Do you think that animal agriculture enslaves animals?
As it currently is, yeah, I
Do
do.
you think there's any way to farm an animal without enslaving them?
Yes, I do.
Farm an animal without enslaving them.
Define farm.
Bring to life an animal, use them for what you want to use them, and then kill them. And maybe eat them or maybe use their body for something else.
Yeah, I do.
Is that not enslavement?
I don't think so.
Do you think the animal wants to be used and killed?
As a Muslim, I don't know if you've had Muslims on the
I've
live
heard
before.
all the arguments,
Yeah?
Muslims, Christians, all of them. But I want to hear what you think. Don't bring your religion necessarily as a justification.
To be honest, what I think is what is my religion, so I can't really separate them from each other.
Can I challenge you on that?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so is your God all compassionate and
Yes.
all knowing?
Yes.
Do you think it's compassionate to bring to life a sentient being, somebody who can feel, who has emotion and an experience of the world, only to kill them, to take their life away from them for something that we don't actually need?
So what we believe is there's a hierarchy of creation by God. Animals are on the bottom, not in terms of their worth or their rights, but in terms of we've been placed on this earth for the purpose of we are tested ourselves. And animals have been given to us not to enslave, but rather to respect. And the way that we slaughter animals, I'm sure you've had people explain it to you
Halal, I know,
before, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's respectful.
It's not, they don't feel pain.
They do. We
We
actually have studies that they do.
And
But
so
regardless, like even if they wouldn't feel pain, let's imagine that they don't feel pain. Yet again, do you think it's compassionate to take their life for something that you don't need?
that we don't need,
Yeah. Do you think we need any form of animal products?
personally I do.
What if we were to find out that science has proven that we can thrive, be healthy on a plant-based diet, for example, when it comes to food? I'm assuming you don't think we need to wear leather, right?
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
necessarily we need to
Yeah,
wear
so when it
leather.
comes to clothes, you already understand that we don't need to use animals, right?
I mainly only think of them in terms of food.
So in terms of food, if you were to find out that we can be healthy consuming plants and plant-based products, as healthy as you can be, Does that not mean that we do not need animal products?
To be honest, personally, I think the problem where it comes from is consumerism and capitalism and
But do you
taking
f-
things to excessive.
Let's not go there.
means.
We can go there, but let's finish this. So, if if we find out that science shows that we don't need to consume animal products,
Honestly, I believe we should still eat animals because as a Muslim, I don't understand why God would put them on earth and not want us to use them,
why
especially
would
because
God
in the
give them the
Quran He
capability?
mentioned that we should use animals for movement and for food.
so listen, I'm gonna challenge you, okay? So, do you believe that what you feel and how you feel about something is a message from God?
Yes.
Okay. So, when you see animals being slaughtered, how do you feel about it?
I feel that God gave us those animals for that purpose.
Hold this for a second.
But only if it's in the right way.
Yeah.
This is halal slaughter. This is halal. Do you think? How do you feel when you see this?
I feel that as long as
Don't try to justify it for food. I never said this animal is killed for food. Okay. Let's imagine.
you
this.
can't take it out of context. That's
Let's
the problem.
try to take it a little bit out of context just to see how you actually feel. Because when you put it in context, you're gonna try to justify it for what you get out of it. But I'm trying to see.
But the problem is, that is how I live life. I
But-
see what you mean, and I see that you're trying to challenge me and get me to say that this is inhumane and this is bloody and this is wrong.
It's wrong.
But at the same time, there's no way that I, as a Muslim, can separate my religion from my
But let me
belief.
explain
And
also
there's no
your
way that I
religion
can-
because that's what I'm trying to do. So if you when you see this you don't feel right? Why is it that don't you believe that that's a message from God? And let me put it this way.
I never
If
said
this-
I don't feel right when I see it.
Do you feel
You
like this
are-
is right?
But that's where context comes in.
Come on. I ask you all of this because you can try to justify and be like you will try to because I want to eat their flesh, because I want to continue doing, because I want to justify my point of view, I will say that this is right. But then I ask you, this is done for clothing, not for food, okay? Let's imagine that this is done for clothing. Is this right?
Yes.
This is right.
Yes.
So we can do whatever we want to an animal.
I didn't say that.
Okay,
I didn't
well,
say
in the
whatever
Quran,
we want.
does it not say that to harm a sparrow, even a sparrow, for something that is unnecessary is wrong?
Yes.
So you pick and choose from the Quran then, right? Because
not
if we
picking and
don't need to
choosing.
consume animal products, we don't need to, and you
So-
are harming animals, how is
Can
that
I
not you
respond?
picking and choosing?
So everything in Islam has to do with intention. And the only one who knows your true intention is God. If I go to a sparrow and I throw a rock at it for no reason whatsoever,
No, to
that
eat
is
them.
wrong. That is wrong. If I don't intend to eat the animal, if I throw it and I kill it, that's wrong. If I have the intention to keep myself warm, to keep myself healthy, and to
But you
fuel
can
my
do all that
body,
from other products. Let's imagine that you can do all that in other ways.
those are developments that have come with science nowadays,
Yeah.
but I also believe that the world is shifting.
So there's no necessity for it.
I still think there's a necessity, because why would God put them on earth?
So wait, if God would put them on earth, why would your God give them the capability of a subjective experience, of having feelings, of them being able to form bonds with their family, to
So
feel love and all of this,
the
when God
difference-
can also create plants who do not have any of that and who give you the nourishment that your body needs? Couldn't that be just a misinterpretation that you are hearing?
It's not a misinterpretation,
It
that's
sounds
for
to me
sure,
like it is.
because it's very clear and explicit what it says in the Quran. However, the difference between humans and animals is that we have the choice between right and wrong. We have laws, we have rules, and we have the Quran as those laws and rules to follow. Animals don't have that. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't have a good relationship with animals and we shouldn't respect them and treat them with
How is
respect.
it respectful to take their life for an optional product, for dessert? If I want to take the life of an animal for dessert, is that fair? Is that respectful?
You can define excess in your own terms, but me personally, I eat to sustain myself, and I eat so that I have more energy
Why
to
don't
worship
you eat
God.
plants to sustain yourself?
Because God gave me animals, and He
But
made
you
it
know,
lawful
but you know
for
that
me.
it is harmful to the animals, right?
Yeah.
So why do you choose to be harmful towards an animal when you can choose not to?
it depends.
Regardless if you get
But
you can get sustenance from
hold
both.
on. Let me challenge you on this, because you are putting things in a specific context, and so am I.
Oh, I'm
we
putting.
are
wait,
never going
no,
to be,
I'm not putting things
we
in
are
specific.
never going to find
Let me be
common
clear.
ground,
Let me be
because
clear.
you're using words like harmful and bloody, and I understand, and
Which
I
it
see
is.
that, and I see that. But at the same time, for us, it's different because we see sustenance in a different way.
Let me
and
be
we
clear.
see
Let me be
provision
clear.
from God
No,
in
no,
a different
no.
way.
Let me be
so
clear.
we're never going to find common ground.
It's not my perspective, by the way. If you want my perspective,
understand
if you want
that.
my
You
perspective,
say
I'm
that
an
it's
atheist
science.
and I can judge your religion in a lot of ways, but I don't want to
I
do that,
understand.
okay?
I
want to
understand.
respect your point of view, but what I bring to this perspective is the perspective of the victim, the innocent animal that gets put into a slaughterhouse because you want to eat their flesh, not because you need to, not because you want to get sustenance, but because you want to, because you can get sustenance from plants, you can get sustenance without harming these innocent animals. So what exactly is the difference between you throwing a rock at a sparrow or you killing an innocent animal for something that you don't need, just because you want to taste their flesh? It's all because
So-
you like the taste of their flesh, not because you get sustenance from it.
I hear you and I understand, but we're never going to agree.
Why?
Because,
What exactly don't we
because-
disagree on?
Because
There are vegan Muslims.
I'm sure there are vegan Muslims, but I'm not one of them personally. Because
So you don't believe in being compassionate towards animals?
the thing. So
Or
this
fair.
is where consumption, like, and consumerism comes in.
It sounds to me like this is exactly greed, isn't it? Because you could choose to not take their life, yet you choose to take their life. So you think your
So-
God, who created the animals to have feelings, to feel pain, to feel sadness and happiness, would rather you take their life instead of not, when you have the option not to?
He says in our book that that's what they're made for.
Doesn't really matter. These animals that we have today, we bring them to life. We give them existence.
this is-
we
this
use
is-
them.
this is
No,
what-
we do it.
this
We
is-
literally, I can show
Okay,
you
is this
how
a
we put
conversation
the.
or a monologue?
How are
Can I
humans
respond?
bringing
Can I respond?
how-
So
living things to life.
this is
How are we bringing?
this
Can I
is
ask a question quickly? What's the difference? Because biologically, humans are seen as animals. So what's the difference between just like the ordinary circle of life where animals eat each other?
We have
and
options.
humans eating each other.
We have
But
options.
Animals also have options.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Tell me which
animals
option.
Animals, like certain animals especially, can sustain themselves with either all plant diets if that's what's given to them, or they can choose to have a more big variety.
Do you
where
think
they choose
animals
plants
do you
and
think animals choose to kill and eat other animals when they have an option not to?
Yes, because there are animals that eat both.
They
Yes,
don't.
there have been
Do you
behavioral-
do you think animals, by the way, biologically animals will try to spend like your body does also, they'll try to spend as little energy as possible in order to get the sustenance or energy that you need. It only makes sense. That's how our body was built. You spend as little energy as possible in order to get as much energy as you can. So an animal will not go hunting if they find vegetables that they can eat. Only if the vegetables do not sustain them, then they will go hunting.
If you give them the two options, you think they're gonna choose the plant?
Here's the thing.
If I give them the option between hunting an animal or eating,
No, I mean if you put the two in front of them.
I think they would eat both. I think that nowadays the food that is plant-based is.
So this is all.
What's the
listen,
difference is
listen.
that you know what happens behind them. You know you're causing unnecessary exploitation and
assuming that
harm.
the animals
An
don't.
animal doesn't know, does
They
it?
have been
An animal
hunting
doesn't know
before,
right from
assuming
wrong.
that it
Animals
doesn't.
animals also grape in nature. Do you know that? Animals, they go to other animals, like lions, for example. When a lion wants to show dominance in their tribe, they will kill all the males in that tribe, and then mate and their babies in order to mate with the females.
And
Does that
it's
mean
survival.
does that mean it's justified for me to do the same, to kill all my friends' girlfriends, kill their babies
survival.
also in order for me to have sex with them? Would it be justified for me to do that? No, because I know better.
But it's not
So-
better, it's very different because it's survival. It's not the same, you're not in a pack of lions, I assume. We don't have
There you go. So you're not a lion. So why would you use a
But-
lion
but
to
this is
justify the
exactly-
oppression,
this is-
exploitation, and slaughter of
This is
innocent
exactly
animals?
what I was trying to explain
No, you
to
were
you
using
earlier.
religion. She's using lions. You're using religion.
Yeah, because that's the way that my brain functions. So
Why is it that you can't, for a second, put yourself in the shoes of this innocent animal who never hurt, who was born in a way
Because
that you
I-
let me finish, who was born in a way where you say, because you were born this species, I therefore have the right to put a knife to your throat and kill you for something that I don't actually need, just because I like how your flesh tastes. Imagine being born in that way, somebody likes the taste of your flesh. You never chose to have tasty flesh. You never chose to be born that way. But somehow, because you were born that way, you deserve to be murdered and chopped into pieces for an optional product.
I'll tell you why. And this is the difference between us and why we will never find common
Because
ground,
of
as I
God.
said before.
Because of
God.
compassionate
Because
God.
of heaven.
Because that's what a compassionate
I believe
God would
that
do.
God sees every single animal and knows every single animal and has written a record of that animal
What
being
would God
created
rather do?
and that animal being
Let me ask you
killed.
this.
But I also believe that we as humans have taken things too far. There are laws of the universe that God has set in place.
Yes, it's
And
too far
He
because
lets
there's 8 billion
things-
people. If those 8 billion people eat meat every
I
day
think
like
you
you
should
do,
find
it's
someone
too
else.
far.
I think
But
you
if
should
you
find
want to
someone
eat
else
meat
to
every
talk
day, then it's all good, right? But
It's
let me
not-
ask you this. Do you think God would rather live in a world where we exploit and slaughter innocent animals or one where we don't?
But he says that.
Which
See,
one?
hold on a
which
minute,
one
hold
would
on a
God
minute.
rather live in?
And here's where we come back to semantics, because you're using exploit and all of those
Yeah, it's
negative
unfair
words.
usage.
And
Yeah,
where
it
I
is
would bring in other
exploitation.
words, which is a privilege and a gift and a blessing from God and a provision from God.
Nope, it is
we're using two
exploitation.
completely different language, and we're never
Do you
going
know what
to
exploitation
agree.
means?
I absolutely know what
What is it?
exploitation means, but I think we're
What
never
is it?
going to agree, so I think
What
we
is
should
it?
find... Thank you so
It's
much.
called unfair
Have a
usage.
nice day.
Do you think it's fair to take the life of innocent animals?
Thank you.
Or do you think plants are not sentient? They don't have emotions.
They do feel, though.
We got somebody who says plants have feelings, everybody.
Have you not seen the studies? Do you do something biology?
It's so funny because I had a debate right now with a guy who was saying plants have who wasn't saying plants have feelings. Then I had
Not
3
that they
girls
have
who were
feelings,
actually
But do you not see that they wither when they don't have their sustenance? How is that?
so they're not a
considered
subject
into-
actually,
How
right?
do you
Wait.
not put that into
Okay, so
consideration?
let's imagine
They are
Let's imagine you care about plants, okay? You don't want plants to die. Wouldn't it be preferable to kill less plants then?
But they
Would it be
give-
preferable
they
to kill
give,
less
and
plants?
that's the
Okay,
same with
would it be preferable to kill less plants?
No, because
No.
you're not killing
So
the
you would
plants,
rather
you're
kill more
taking what
plants.
they're giving you, which
So
is
why
the
did you
animal
even
that's
say that
giving
plants
what
feel? Because we need to kill more of them.
That's not what I think.
What exactly was the
It's
point?
not emotions. He's
What exactly
he's
is the point?
convinced of what he believes. We're convinced of what we believe.
No,
We're not gonna come
mine is
to an agreement.
scientific.
I think
Mine is scientific, let's be clear.
Then
Mine is scientific. You don't need to eat animal products to
But that's what
thrive.
you're saying. You believe in yours because it's scientific. We believe in ours because of our religion. We're not going to come to a common ground. We're not
But
gonna
let me
agree.
be
I
clear.
think you should talk to someone else.
Let me
for
be
your
clear.
opinion.
In your religion, you're misrepresenting your God because you're saying your God is compassionate and you're choosing to be violent towards a defenseless
That's not true,
creature.
because if
You're
he
choosing. It's choice. That's the difference. Your God said it. If it's necessity, you can do it. That's what your God said.
But
But,
if-
you're doing out of choice.
Okay. He didn't say it's a necessity. He said that it's allowed to eat animals.
Because
And
it
if
was
he
a necessity. You
and-
need to take it in
No,
the
it's
context
not,
when it
because
was said.
if he wants the animal to not feel anything,
Sure.
then they're not going to feel anything because
Sure.
he can do anything he wants.
Sure. Yeah, and you believe in a person who would rather be violent towards a defenseless creature, right? Somebody who did nothing wrong simply
but we
because
believe- but
we
we
get
believe
pleasure from it,
But we
right?
believe that we kill them and they don't get hurt. Let's go.
You can believe whatever we want. We have studies showing that they
Sorry.
actually do feel.
Thank you.
That's what happens, everybody. That's what happens when you bring religion into it. That's what happens when you bring nonsense to justify oppression. That's what happens, sadly. Yeah, exactly. God. Everybody just likes to bring God. That's my view. My view is that my God wants me to kill all the people that I don't like. My God actually said that if I want to kill the people that I don't like, then it's okay to kill the people that I don't like. That's what my God said. After all, that's what my God said, therefore it's okay. Imagine that. Imagine using this logic. Imagine not actually thinking a little bit. Imagine not using your brain, which your God that you claim give you. Yeah, that's where we're at. Listen, I hope you don't get upset with what I do. But let me just give you a card either way. Let me just give you a card because I just want you to be aware of what you're paying because I really care about the animals, okay? As much as I'm an atheist myself and I can make fun of religion, I want to respect your choice for religion, and I can tell you that you can be both religious and Muslim. You can be both Muslim and vegan. You can respect animals, but just take a look at what it is that you're supporting, maybe Dominion, and you'll kind of understand what I mean, because you may not be okay with it, and actually connect with it. Don't just try to justify what you get out of it, because then you end up in the same position.
And I could ask you the same thing to do for Islam, is look at it with an open mind, with an open heart. Don't come at it with ridicule or with making fun of it or
I don't think
anything like
I
that.
think Islam is the same as any other religion. They're
Okay,
they're all just justifications of something that we have no proof of its existence.
And that's your preconceived notion already. So I ask you, if I look into this, you go to Islam and look at it with an open mind. That's all.
I actually read part of the Quran. I actually read the Bible. I read part of the Quran, but there is no proof for any of it. I'm sorry.
It's just personal opinion.
It's with really. That's why I don't want to challenge religion, because it's everybody's personal choice, and I don't think there's anything wrong with you choosing. So there's nothing wrong with you choosing what religion you want to follow. There isn't anything wrong. You can choose and do that. My problem is when you choose to buy animal products or this kind of stuff, is that there is a victim behind it. Okay? It's
In your opinion.
well, no, the animal is a victim.
But it's in your opinion.
It's
because it
in your
depends on how
opinion.
you.
The animal is a
and
victim.
That's your opinion.
And these are
The animal
words,
is a victim.
These are the words
That's
that
still
we
an
use because
opinion.
I use provision.
Wait, if you were in their position,
use
if somebody were to be cutting your throat and chopping you into pieces,
No,
would you
but
not be a
I just
victim?
actually had a brief conversation with this young woman, and I, you know, within the context of her belief system, which you're saying everyone is entitled to.
But this isn't a belief system.
Wait,
Animals are
wait,
victims.
Wait. She explained to me that, and I don't disagree with it, that animals were not the primary focus of God's intent, and serve as a way of allowing human beings to be nourished and flourish and contribute.
And animals aren't the only
You don't need
creation
to
of
do
God
it.
that we have.
Why don't you take the
that we-
context? I don't
So-
get it.
so-
So in the Quran, there's so many things that when you take them out of context, everybody says, why don't you look at the context? Why is it that you don't look at this thing in context? When your prophet was alive, we needed to consume animal products. Nowadays, we don't. So do you think that when somebody is showing compassion towards animals, they would actually choose to bring them to existence,
Can I just
to take their
interrupt for a
life and
minute?
then kill? And,
So
and
what I think actually would be the most beneficial at this time, in this day and age, is if people were more gentle with each other and more accepting of different
I
perspectives.
can't accept
and-
oppression. I'm
well, you
sorry.
can't,
I can't
but-
accept oppression. If
Yeah.
somebody were to be oppressive towards you, I wouldn't accept it. I would fight for your right. I would fight for the same for the rights of animals,
just
because
don't think-
all of us deserve to live and be free. It's not about what I believe or what somebody
I'm
else
just giving you
wants.
the benefit of my experiences being much more senior than you.
Sure, it doesn't really matter that, but
Oh,
whatever.
well, it does. I mean, there
Well,
are
you're
some-
not vegan. You oppress animals, so it doesn't really matter.
I don't eat a whole lot of
So you
animal
only oppress
products,
some
but
animals.
I don't eat them exclusively. But on the other hand, back to my main argument here on discourse is that more differences, allowance for more differences would be the better way to go.
Not when it
in
comes
this
to oppression.
world.
Would you accept? Wait, would you accept it as a difference if I wanted to oppress women? Would you accept it as a
Actually,
belief?
I wish you were actually out here arguing with people about women as
I
opposed
actually
to
do.
animals.
I actually fight
Well,
for women's
any day
women's
now.
abortion
Well,
right also.
next time
But
I'm
let me
here,
ask.
since I'm here for a while,
Sure.
I'd love to see you on this street.
But I'll ask you again. Can
representing
you answer my
women.
question? If I wanted to oppress women, would you still consider it as my choice?
Yes, unfortunately, it is. Your
And would you
choice, the
say
way
that I should be free to
speech
do
is-
that? Would you
Well-
say I should be free to do that?
Well, the problem with restricting some freedoms is that you then open the door to restrict many more freedoms.
So do you think I should be allowed? Should I be allowed to oppress other individuals that I can oppress?
Sorry?
Should I be allowed to oppress the individuals because I have power over them?
This is again where the disagreement comes in, because we see the world through a different lens, and you keep making the same
I bring
point
the
over
victims.
and over.
I just bring
and
the
I
victims
keep
into
making the
matter.
same point over and over,
I
and
just
we
bring the
never meet
victims.
middle ground
I
because
just bring
we
the
see the
victims.
world through different lens and we define the world with different words.
Are the
which is
animal
why
victims
we're
in
never
your
going
view?
to be able
And
to
are the animal
convince-
victims
no.
in your view?
And I said that
They're
before.
not. There
I
you
don't
go.
believe that they're victims. I
The
believe
same,
that
the, sa- the, sa- the same as a person who oppresses women does not have their view and their perspective. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. Sadly, when you look at when you say you have a different worldview, well, my worldview says it's okay because I like it. You're essentially saying, well, my worldview is okay because I neglect the victims of my choices. How is that okay, brother? If you just want to neglect them, then it becomes okay? No, it does not. I hate it when people bring religion into this. I hate it. I really do. Yeah, Pia, they're not worth discussing it. It's just, you know what? I don't care about the religion. It's just when this other woman, you didn't see her on camera, this other woman starts saying that we should be accepting of everybody's choices. And I literally asked it, should you be accepting if my choice is to oppress others? Should you be accepting of my choice? Of course not. Let's be real, what the hell? It's not, I have the choice to oppress others, but I shouldn't have the choice to oppress others. It's pretty simple. It's not about your freedom. Your freedom ends when there's a victim involved. It's pretty simple. He gets mad so easily. So funny that you guys think I get mad. I'm actually not mad at all, but that's okay. You handled them well. They were extremely ignorant. Yeah, I don't know, Anna. Whatever. It is what it is. I don't really mind. I think that I just wanted to tone it down and give them a card in the end, because I do think that they should look at it. I do think that they should see what they're participating in. And that's also a thing that people say, right? When they see this shit, they see this, and they say, I think this is normal. No, you don't. You think this is normal because you want to justify what you get out of it, not because this is okay. This is not okay. Violence towards innocent animals is not okay. But you know, that's what people will do. They will continue justifying it. That religious person said that slitting the throat is a privilege from God. I hate that, says Vegan Felek. Yeah, Vegan Felek. They're afraid to take responsibility for the whole world. They are just afraid. I don't know what to say anymore. It's been a day today, huh? I feel like on Sunday last time we had a day where everybody was open-minded and was actually wanting to change, and today we just had debates over bullshit. Marius said that they're eating a burger right now. Okay, congratulations, Marius. You oppress animals. Congratulations. You're oppressing turkeys. Congratulations. Are you proud to be oppressing them? Are you feeling good right now about oppressing innocent individuals? You could always eat plant-based burgers. You could always choose something else. But no, you want to oppress individuals. You want others to suffer. If others don't suffer, you don't feel good about it, do you? There you go. That's what it is. That's what you want to do. This is what you want. This is what you pay for. Triggered little vegan. I'd rather be a triggered little vegan than a giant animal abuser. What would you rather be? A triggered little vegan or a giant animal abuser? Huh? Because I'd rather be a triggered little vegan. And by the way, for everybody who's listening and doesn't know, vegan essentially means respecting the animals, respecting their rights. If you think you should respect animals' rights, if you think you should be respecting animals, and the only way to do that is to be vegan. You may not realize that yet, but that's the only way to do that. You will realize it eventually. You will. You'll get there. You'll see. That's okay. Let's see if we have some questions from people, and then I'm gonna go. We actually care about our health, so we eat them. So, Metehan Ilmaz, so if I show you evidence that you can thrive on a plant-based diet and I give you resources to thrive on a plant-based diet, are you gonna stop eating them? Marius, I'm not gonna respond to your bullshit things. I actually wanna have logical arguments. I don't really respond to nonsense. But that's okay. You can say nonsense if you want. You're free to do that. As long as you say nonsense and you don't actually exploit and slaughter innocent animals, I don't care. Let's be real. They just look for excuses. That's exactly true. Renee, thank you for that. B12. Yeah, B12 is from a bacteria. Cows are given B12 as a supplement. You take B12 from cows or from any other meat because of a supplement that they're given. Congratulations, you made the point. Why not take the supplement directly yourself? V Morals says, somebody with the name of V Morals, that's kind of funny. I could switch to vegan more often if I saw the benefits, but I'm not eating bugs. V Morals, I'm not saying you should eat bugs. You shouldn't eat bugs. Bugs are sentient beings most of the time. You should not exploit bugs also. You know what you should do? You should eat a plant-based diet. Do you want to see the benefits of a plant-based diet? You know what the number one benefit is? You respect animals. You're not a hypocrite if you say that you do respect animals. Or if you think you don't respect animals, then perhaps you shouldn't respect humans also, because humans are also animals. So that's the number one benefit. And with a name like V Morals, I would assume that morals matter to you. So how is it moral to exploit and slaughter innocent sentient beings for an optional product? Which bugs are not sentient, asked Jason God. I don't know, Jason. There's just so many bugs out there. I just err on the side of caution. And I say, when I talk to people, because you know what, when I say bugs are sentient, some people will be, are you saying this bug is sentient? Like they always strawman the argument. So I'm trying to work against the strawmanning. Frosco Training says I was disrespectful. Oh no, Frosco Training. You were heated, but you were judging him constantly. Maybe we should judge people who exploit and who defend violence towards innocent animals. I think we should be judging them. I don't think you should defend oppression and not be judged about it. You should be judged for defending oppression, yeah. Chippy, when the bread and wine transform into the body and blood of Christ, can it still be considered vegan? Oh, that's funny. So sad comparing bacon to cancer. Bacon is highly carcinogenic, by the way. But yeah, you shouldn't eat it because it exploits and slaughters innocent sentient beings. It puts pigs in gas chambers. But if you want to look at your benefit, you also will, reduce your chances of colon cancer and gastrointestinal cancer. Marcos says, I am 12 years vegan and I feel great. Thank you, veganism and vegan activists. Thank you, Marcos. Hey, everybody. I think it was a little bit even more intense day. That's okay. I'll see you again on Sunday, by the way. I know it will be a week when I won't be live. I'll try to maybe cut some videos out. You have to be a non-believer to be vegan. A non-believer in what? On science. You have to be a believer in science to be vegan. That is true. So if you don't believe in science, it's difficult to be vegan indeed, because then you just believe in nonsense. Who knows what you believe in? I will miss you, Chip, says Navia. Thank you, Navia. I will miss you guys also, all of you. It's always nice to be with you here. Have a good trip. Thank you. Will you bring an extension next stream? An extension? What do you mean by that? You need to watch it. To watch it back, bro. Frosco. Frosco. Interrupting people and judging them based on violence, based on their choice to be violent, is not something that should not be judged. I repeat, you should judge people who want to be violent because they want to be violent. Chip, where do you usually stream in Amsterdam? What street? I don't usually stream on a specific stream. I stream. I don't usually stream on a specific street. I stream on different streets. It's so funny that we have so many people in this chat who don't understand veganism. Put a 1 if you don't understand it. Put a 1 if you don't understand what veganism is. Put a 1 if you think veganism is a diet. Renee, are you trolling me? What are you doing? I'm plant-based but not a vegan. Maybe you should be vegan, Lottie. Yeah, I think a lot of you don't really understand. Veganism is a moral principle. Veganism is to animals what feminism is to women. It means respecting their rights, leaving them alone. Animals are not there for you to eat them. Animals are not there for you to use them. Animals are not objects. They are individuals who deserve to be left alone. When people bring up religion, you know they are about to try to justify immorality and violence. You can be a member of any cult while also being vegan, says Christopher Sabiotsky. Christopher, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super chat. Don't use animals, don't abuse animals, leave them alone. If you want to have a symbiotic relationship with animals, make sure it is symbiotic. Symbiotic does not mean that you take from them and kill them when you can no longer. Symbiotic does not mean that, like, let me put it this way. I actually saw a really interesting thing the other day. When we call this relationship symbiotic, imagine if I take somebody off the street, right? Like, imagine I take a homeless person off the street, and I call it symbiotic because I take them off the street and I give them food, but then I enslave them. I tell them, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, otherwise you gotta go out. Or that's symbiotic? It's not. It's not, because they don't, it's not really symbiotic, brother. So symbiotic would be if you benefit and they benefit from it, but in a choice matter, you see? That's where symbiotic refers to. And bugs. Speaking of. Symbiotic needs both sides to agree on it, not just one defines the rules. Then it's no longer symbiotic. Let people do what they enjoy versus shaming them to do what you want. Yeah, I should let people be violent, you're right. Let people be violent. Let people exploit innocent, defenseless creatures. Let people be assholes to animals. Let people be the worst. You look ill, brother. I think you're trying to find justifications to continue oppressing innocent, defenseless creatures. Chip, why do you deem that you have value along with animals from an atheist perspective? Because I value my own life just as much as you value your own life, just as much as any other animal values their own life. It's called intrinsic value. Steroids. Brother, if you think I'm on steroids, then you have never seen a person on steroids. But good luck with that. I appreciate the compliment. You know you've made it when you have this many trolls. Yeah, there's a lot of trolls in here, huh? Don't call me brother. Oh, Ron Brad, don't be so upset, man. I'm just here defending animals, okay? I'm just here to know. So that people no longer oppress animals. If you were in their shoes, maybe you were gonna like hearing that, because it's about yourself, not about others. People love hearing about themselves, and I'm sure you also love hearing about yourself, Ron Brads. You will love hearing this about yourself. If you were in a position where you would be oppressed, I would fight for your rights also. Do you love that? Are you feeling better about yourself now? But sadly, you're in a position where you are oppressing others, actually. So I am here telling you to stop. Please, for the love of God, please stop oppressing animals. For the love of God. They deserve to live and be free just as much as any one of us. But that's it, everyone. I'm gonna go. I have to go back to work. You oppress humans by being vegan, says Max S. Man, we should look into it a little bit. Don't stop saying nonsensical things, man. It makes you look bad. It's mind-blowing to people. It's mind-blowing that people would look at Chip and say he looks unhealthy. They are out of excuses. Exactly. Thank you for that. But that's okay. It's okay. I'm 38, man. What can I do? I'm not gonna look young always. I'm 38. I've always looked a little bit older. I would say I'm in a pretty good physical condition for a 38-year-old, but that's because I go to the gym and I take care of myself. Not that much. I used to do it way more than I do today. You had no job, you said. I do have a part-time job. I'm a software engineer, but I did go a long period without having a job, yes. Wow, you're 38. Yeah, I'm 38. Yeah, I went 2 years without a job. Thank you, Anna. Navia's 38 too. Hell yeah, 38. Get a life. I'm gonna get a life. when you're gonna let animals have a life. How about we do that? I'm gonna get a life when you let animals have a life. Can we do that? Can we do this symbiotic thing between us? Can we agree that I'm gonna get a life? I'm gonna be minding my own business when you stop oppressing animals. In fact, you know what, everybody? If you don't like me or don't want to hear more of me, stop oppressing animals and you'll hear less of me, okay? Stop oppressing them, okay? Go vegan. If you went vegan, we probably wouldn't have this issue and I wouldn't need to be on the street here telling you to stop oppressing them. I'm gonna give a shout out to Draculum because I think Draculum was the winner the last time. He was the first to comment. We always, we have this contest on the channel here. The first person to comment on the stream gets a shout out. Thank you, Draculum, for that. I'd happily get a life if people were vegan, says Renee. Thank you, Renee, I agree. Shout out to Draculum. You're awesome, man. Draculum, I appreciate you, by the way. I know, I appreciate you being fast. Not just that. I appreciate, like, we have a little bit of a community here in the comments. People gather. I always laugh when I read the comments. It makes my day. So I appreciate everybody for being so cool here. It's really cool. If you're not vegan, watch the 3-minute video. It's in the description of this stream. I think you're gonna enjoy it. And let's see. I don't know, because now I'm now in my head, because Draculum won the last time, and I heard that if I reach for 3 times for the stream to end, that's when people know that I'm gonna end it. But it's also that if I put my hand over here, people will think I'm gonna be ending. So I don't know exactly how to end this stream. But I'll just say thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you on Sunday. I hope you've subscribed if you liked some of the things we said today. It was pretty intense today. I hope you like the stream, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for everybody who donated, by the way. I appreciate all of it. It does help out in these times. What are the crowns for? Go omnivore. Space money. I will not see you on Sunday anymore. Yeah, I already told you already why, okay? Thank you so much, everybody. Have an awesome day.